I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like.
You're watching Poindexter Lounge. You already know. You're watching Poindexter Lounge for the unity.
Why don't you set aside an hour or two? We'll have a few drinks and a cup of coffee I don't drink.
Hi, you're watching Poindexter Lounge. I'm choking on chicken.
Hey, you're watching Poindexter. That's great. I don't.
You are watching Poindexter Lounge.
That's great. I don't.
You are watching Poindexter. Thanks for the lights, Jay. Roger, Rose, and Call of Duty. I smell like onions, and you're watching Poindexter.
That's great. I don't.
And now I'll make the point better. This joint's clever. In the lounge with Poindexter. So Poindexter Lounge, you know that we can get it in. And now I'm headed up like I'm Led Zeppelin.
Hi, you're watching Poindexter Lounge. Do you like nerd stuff? Yeah? Then you'll love this. You never know what might happen or who might show up at the lounge.
I just want to thank you for being here and being my friend. It's always good to have someone you could count on. And I'm glad you're that for me.
That's great. I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
My minute basis. Like to the point where I do, it's like.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stay right there. What are you doing? Okay, well, stay over there. You don't just get in somebody else's lane, sir. Thank you.
Oh, hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. It is I, your host, Mad Max. No, just kidding. I just thought I might try a new shtick now, right? Like, Max took the mask off, maybe I put the mask on. You know, someone has to stand up for the people. Someone has to put the mask on to take up the mantle. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. It's good to see you. Haven't seen all of you in some time, but yes, it is the Poindexter Lounge. It is not Mad Max, but it is the Poindexter Lounge, and of course, the Poindexter Lounge is, boys and girls, if you remember, a place for nerds. That's right, it's a place where you and me and all of us can get together and talk about the things that we love, things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, action figures, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that you dig, if those are things that get you excited, then you know what, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If those are not things that get you excited, well, you're probably going to be really, really bored around here because that's kind of all we talk about. So, but anyways, you know what? We would love to have you here. We would love to have you be a part of the conversation. So, welcome. Hey, so today, some stuff happened regarding Superman, and I kind of like Superman. I'm kind of a Superman fan. But you know what? I want to thank everybody who reached out to me today and sent me a message, and they were like, Enosh, what did you think of the trailer? Enosh, what did you think of the trailer? Enosh, what did you think of the trailer? And you know, I was like, you know, I gotta go on stream. I gotta talk about this trailer. I gotta talk about Superman, and I mean, it's Superman, and why wouldn't I? Anyways, it's been a while since we've been here, so why don't we say hi to some people here in the chat. Thank you guys, by the way, for your patience. It wouldn't be a Poindexter Lounge stream if I showed up on time now, would it? No. I apologize. I realized something as I was coming down to stream. I was all set. Everything was good. And then I realized I had taken every microphone cable that I own out of this house. And I had my mic right here, but I did not have a microphone cable. And so I had to improvise and find some, some different pieces and stuff. I'll show you what my little makeshift thing looks like right now. It's literally my mic into the adapter and into the focus, right? So it's not typical, but hey, we got it going and we are here and we're streaming. So I want to say hi to some people. I'm just going to go down the list here, kind of say hi. What's up, Kasali? What's up, man? It's good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, Derpy Entertainment? What's up, Mr. Fahrenheit? Hey, there's Mr. Kenneth Crowley. Yeah, hey, what's up, buddy? Well, we're going to talk about it tonight. There's my Superman buddy from another mother. We got Zentech. What's going on, Zentech? How's things down under? Laser Luke, I love you, brother. I love you, man. Hey, RJ. See, okay, now here's where problems start, right? When everybody starts saying Enosh is back, Enosh is back, Enosh is back. I mean, I'm here. Thanks for noticing. What's up, CJH? What's going on, brother? Hey, there's somebody that I know. Hi, Shayna. Shayna is upstairs right now watching the show. And surprisingly enough, Shayna loves it when I stream and has been encouraging me to stream. So if you like me streaming, you might like her. Because she's definitely on your side. What's up, Crazy Joe? Yo! What's up, Darkness? What's up, Lane? Oh my gosh, man. Hey, bro. Oh my gosh, there's so many good people. You know, the cool thing is, hey, there's Mary. What's going on, Mary? So many of you guys have shown up on my personal, pages and stuff, and it's been cool to get to know you guys that way as I have not been on stream for a while. And I don't want to take too much time with this because I got people in the back and I know we want to talk about this, but I really do appreciate this, you guys being here and the love you guys show. What's up, McLovin? Oh my gosh, McLovin, man, I love you guys. I love you guys. What's up, Anthony Cheeseman? What's going on? Superman 4 is the best Superman movie. Hey, you know what? I've met most of the cast from Superman 4 now, so, it's got its place in my heart. It's got its place in my heart. Oh, they all do. What's up, Blake? It's an Enosh sighting. Hey, what's up, Bradley? What's going on, my friend? Okay, I need to get through this, though, because we need to get on here. What's up, Isaac? Says they just showed the trailer while I was waiting to see Sonic 3, and it got me even more excited for it, and it looked great on the big screen. See, that's good to know. Thank you, Isaac, for pointing that out. What's up, John? Says the suit still looks freaking horrible, and the trailer was just meh. We're going to be honest, right? We're going to be honest. I miss Enosh streams, too. There's people, apparently, that don't. What's up, Draga? What's going on, man? Okay, so TW, what's going on? Joey, hey. Hey. Ryan, buddy, hey, thank you for being here. My friend, Ryan, you just sent me a CD. And I went, I don't know what happened, if, I don't know how we got disconnected, maybe on socials or if you changed names or whatever. But hey, I was wanting to thank you, and I was trying to track you down. I could not find you. Ryan, thank you. Some of you guys have been really awesome over the years and sent me stuff. I mean, Ryan sent me, I'm still making my way. Dude, I promised you, I'm still making my way through My Hero Academia. I promised you. But Ryan sent me this book. He has sent me other things in the past, and he sent me a CD. And Ryan, dude, you're too cool, man. You're too cool. What's up, Sarahs? How you doing? You're already having nostalgia. I know, here we are, right? We're all here back together again in the lounge. I love that. I love that. That makes me feel good. That really does. That brings me some Christmas cheer. And that day, Enosh's heart grew 3 sizes. What's up, Jimmy? What's going on? Okay. I just don't want to miss anybody, but I know I can't get to everybody right now, maybe. But it looks like I think I got everybody at least once. What's up, Absent Good? Good to see you, Absent Good. What's up? Teledia plays. And what's up, James? Music Man. Good to see you, Music Man. Film Goblin. All of you. Hey, Absent Good. You know what? Hey, Absent Good, you're awesome. $1.99. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, Absent Good. As the Superman trailer was awesome. Unfiltered says, I bet you hated it. Stay tuned. I'm going to let you know right now. Okay. What's up? Okay, so I'm just going to say hi to James. What's going on? Hey, I got to say hi to, of course, Tony Movie Chappie, D9 Neil Blomkamp fan. Always good to see you, buddy. Okay, I apologize if I missed anybody, but I do have to get everybody in here and we got to go. Okay, so, hey, I didn't lose her. No, she's gone. Trust me, nobody lost her. You know what? I will just give you, since you bring it up, I will say just this. Enosh no longer has a wife, and the woman who is with Enosh now is everything that Enosh needs. And so, thank you, Shayna, and thank you all rational people who don't just lie in wait for me to stream to talk about my personal life. All right, here we go. And that's all we're going to say about that. I will say this. I thank you all for your support, for your love. And you know what? And even all of you who, the people who have, stalked me and tried to make a big deal about that. Hey, listen, people go through things in life, right? Tiffany and I were something special for the time that we were together. We accomplished a lot together. And then we went in different directions and we went in different ways, and people do that in different ways. And, my story will be heard, eventually, but the thing is like, it's weird when people obsess over it. It's kind of weird and charming, I guess, that you care that much. But the thing is people, they grow apart. People get married every day. People get divorced every day. People are born and people die every day. And I can tell you this, that Enosh Fee has a lot of fight left in him. Enosh Fee has a lot of good days ahead, and good days are already here. I love what we're doing right now. With our church and with my family. I mean, Landon's with us, leading our music. Isaac's leading our tech team. And they were both just licensed as ministers in our church. And yeah, I mean, things are good. Shayna has been absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait for you guys to get to know Shayna more over the next few months. And yeah, so stay tuned, because there's a lot more good coming from the lounge here pretty soon. Awesome. Anyways, that's enough about that. We're here for Superman, and of course, the most irrelevant person that I know, Mr. Austin Lean. So irrelevant.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh,
I can hear you.
Yeah. I know, man. Well, you know me. I was always clawing for relevancy. I just had to have it. So much so that I took down my old channel and left YouTube for 2 years. Man, that relevancy just really messes with me, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's why.
I mean, I didn't even know you didn't even like me. You just kept me around, just for space, I guess. Jeez.
I needed a token, good-looking Mexican guy.
Gay Mexican. I check a lot of boxes.
Oh, that's right. You're gay. That's right. I forgot that you were gay.
Literally go, I forgot you're gay. Hey Bradlay, if you're in the chat,
we're just gonna check off all the boxes here with Austin. Austin, you might be a lot more relevant than you realize. Okay, we gotta get going. Okay, all right, here we go. It's Jimbo. What's up, Jimbo?
What's
Jimbo!
up, everyone?
Jimbo. Good to see you, brother.
I miss Jimbo.
Yeah, dude, it has been a hectic 4 months, and I just graduated with a bachelor's degree in biological sciences.
Whoa!
In
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what was it?
Biological sciences.
Oh, because he was going so loud, it sounded like you said illogical sciences, and I was like,
well, yeah, just like a lot of commentary in terms of the Superman trailer. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's been crazy, and yeah, I've recorded so much gaming content, but then my logic board on my old computer died, and they wanted $800 for a part in the logic board at Apple, and I said, sorry, no, and I recorded brand new stuff. So there should be a video in development here in the next week or so.
Sweet.
So yeah, that's just what I've been up
man.
to. It's
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah,
That's all you've literally been in school since I started streaming with you 4 years ago. So God bless you're out of there. Yes.
Yeah, and I'll be starting my master's in the fall, so I have a whole semester off recording stuff and catching up on all the gaming that I missed. Because there's been a lot. There's been a lot I missed.
Heck yeah, man.
Well, that's awesome. Also here tonight we got Nerd Cosa Nostra. What's up, Nerd Cosa Nostra?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Good, man.
What's up?
How you been?
Been doing good, man. Been doing good. You know, just living life.
I feel you, brother. I feel you, man.
Living life.
Okay. And then finally we got Mr. D Al. What's up, D Al?
Oh, hell yeah.
It feels good to be back.
To be black? I mean back? Wait, what?
Wait, black? Wait, hold on. He's black and you're gay? What? Cats and dogs living together? Absolute pandemonium.
Here, we just
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, DL. I had to. You set me up for it.
Yeah, I walked into that one, didn't I?
You did.
Oh man. But yeah, great to be here.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Cancel the lounge. They're already trying to get rid of us. They're already trying to get rid of us, man. I've been on the air for. Okay. Hold on a second. Why do I sound like Joe Pesci all of a sudden? Okay. We got RJ. We got RJ. What's up, RJ?
Oh boy.
Hey.
Okay. What's up, RJ?
Not much, man. Not much. Just living life. It's been a crazy week for me. I guess.
Hold on, wait. Let's make sure that this RJ is the real RJ. Is he telling us the truth? Was it a crazy week for RJ this week, Magic 8 Ball? What the heck? This Magic 8 Ball is messed up, man. I gotta turn the light on. Sorry, hold on. Most likely. Yeah, okay. Cool.
Okay.
You can proceed.
Yeah. No, it's true. The Magic 8 Ball doesn't lie. I guess.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay.
So some life update news for me.
Before you get to your life update, I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a life update.
You haven't even finished.
You didn't even ask me about my life update. But
you didn't even ask me.
You didn't even ask. Like,
I'm sorry, man. Austin started calling you black and talking about the fact that he was gay.
So what you're saying is you didn't ask DL because he was black? Dude,
no. It threw me off, and so I'm thinking black, gay, RJ.
Aren't you Hispanic? Aren't you Hispanic too, RJ?
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm
Hispanic. Dexter
too.
Lounge.
Oh, yeah, look at that diversity everywhere.
So did everybody miss us or what?
Yeah.
It was good to have the OG crew.
Yeah, but how are you
doing? The comments are crazy. Everyone's like, I miss this. It's been a while.
So really 50% of this panel is Mexican on some level.
Yes.
Basically.
I was thinking the same thing.
Because I'm Mexican Filipino, so
we are this new administration's worst nightmare. This stream.
Yeah, we're hitting the boxes.
Yeah, we're checking all the boxes.
My quote of the day.
Well, before I
black,
say
gay, RJ.
No, I wanted DL to
needs
go
to be a
first.
T-shirt.
Well, that's The new teacher.
Poindexter Lounge, black, gay, RJ.
Welcome to the lounge.
Black gay RJ.
A lot has changed. You know,
Wow.
the thing is, you know, we're single now. So you
Welcome
know
back to the lounge, black gay RJ.
Well, jeez, the lounge leaves and goes full woke.
I know.
Max is going to be doing a stream about this in a few weeks, don't you?
The lounge has gone woke.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So all right. So let's
Well, real quick, I was gonna say
DL never finished. Well, hold on. DL never told us his life story. So
I don't even know how to follow that.
I apologize, brother. I apologize,
But,
man. It's always you, man. It's always you.
It's always me.
But I love you, man.
I love you too, man. Speaking on the whole single part, I can't really vibe with y'all on that because I don't know.
shit.
I'm engaged, so.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh!
Yep. Big step.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we need to find a
man.
drop for him. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
working.
Nicotina's mom. Good.
Yeah. Yes, I'm engaged.
It tastes like sugar.
I am engaged to Nicotina's mom. Confirmed.
Why did you say that?
Yeah.
I'm in a coke field rage. Good times.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, we're about to get a house and
Well,
all that stuff.
congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is awesome. That is awesome.
That is
That's
freaking awesome,
awesome.
man. That is really awesome. I'm really happy for you, man. That's really
Heck yeah,
cool.
man.
So
you.
cool.
Thank you.
All right, and RJ?
Yeah, I've been doing good. This week has just been crazy. You know, I was hired. I've been working at a school for the past since August, and they have decided this happened on Tuesday. So after Christmas break, I've been hired to be a social studies teacher.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be actually teaching and shaping the youth of this country. So
Okay, never mind. That's terrifying.
You
Not-
do you, boo, right?
but yeah, it's been
Just like to tease everybody a little bit, just tickling it a little bit.
so yeah, I'm actually like starting my career that I got my degree for. So it's been cool.
Very cool.
Yeah,
man.
that's awesome.
cool.
That's awesome.
Let's get this party started!
I didn't do that. So I don't know what that was. That's I have that video in the queue, but
So it's been a good week, and you know, it's a lot has changed, you know, besides black and gay, you know.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a conversation. What, you just woke up one day and you realized? No, okay. Dr. Phil. Okay, so here we go.
Yes.
Right?
Catch me outside.
Okay. All right, so today this trailer dropped.
Yes.
And I want to say this because people get a lot of ideas in their head, man. Having watched me over the years or whatever, I guess, I have always maintained about this movie that there were things that concerned me when all the pictures started coming out. I shared my concerns when those pictures came out based on what I could see, based on what was in front of me. Okay. I have always said I'm going to give this movie a shot. I have had so many people in the last few weeks DM me and say, Enosh, I can't believe you changed your mind. I can't believe you've left and turned to the dark side. And I'm like, I've always said I'm a Superman fan first. Like, I love DC. I love Superman. I'm always going to watch the thing and see if I like it, because I might like it. And here's another thing, and I feel that I've been seeing a call for more of this in the Superman communities, and I hope that this catches on, and that is, be a fan of Superman and find the Superman in whatever you're watching. You know, all these people who are like, Henry Cavill's not, you know, really Superman, and he's just dour and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, there's elements in there of Superman. There's elements in each person who's played this character that represents Superman. There has not been a rendition yet of Superman that we've seen like that was so far gone that it doesn't represent who Superman is anymore. It just hasn't been. I've had concerns about the movie because I've been concerned that we were going to go back to a very childish way of looking at the character or these characters in general, that it could be too funny or cutesy. I did not like the suit at all. I maintain I did not like the suit. It did not look good at all. I will be disappointed with certain things like the Ultraman storyline, if that's, exactly that way, and instead of it being Ultraman. Because I'm tired of the bait and switch stuff, right? I didn't even like that about Batman v Superman. That it was like I was disappointed actually that Doomsday was in it, and I was never really happy with the way that Doomsday looked, but I accepted it for what it was, and I enjoyed it for what it was, and it didn't. You never heard me complaining much about it because it just is what it is, With this, I have some concerns about like the kaiju and stuff. It's like I hope that they don't use that as a way for Superman to not really have to really engage anything serious. But I'm not seeing that now. And so I haven't changed my tune on anything. I absolutely love the Snyderverse. I will always love the Snyderverse. As far as I'm concerned, that is the version of these characters, man, that I relate with, right? And I get it. And I totally get it. And I love that. And I wanted more, and I wanted that continued. And believe me, I wanted more than anything for the Snyderverse to continue. I would have loved for a Justice League 2 and a Justice League 3 and a Man of Steel 2 and the Batman movie, with Ben Affleck. I wanted all of that. But that's not what's presenting itself. And if you think that I'm going to just not enjoy Superman until maybe one day that happens, that's not me. You're going to be like the guy who told me when I was 18 years old that the girl in our band who was leaving our band and moving to Nashville to go to college, that we had to wait 4 years for the band to continue for her to come back from school. And I said, I'm 18 years old. You think I'm going to spend my years between 18 and 22 of my musician's life not playing because that girl left? No. So just because something left or whatever doesn't mean that you can't go on. Believe me, I've learned that in the last year and a half. Okay? So there's a time where you just got to say, what is what is, and I can't change it. So here presents James Gunn and Superman. Can I just say, can we stop picking apart James Gunn and Superman for every little thing, like twisting every little thing? It's like, well, he called it Superman Legacy and then he changed the name, so he's a liar. That's just nonsense. That's just noise. It's just a bunch of junk. So you find my mic, I told you. Okay, we're good. But you find now an Enosh that has a Superman movie now to judge and look at. And I've told everybody, I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to be there opening day as a Superman fan. I don't care about Twitter. I'm so sick of caring about who directed, wrote, conceptualized, thought of it on the toilet, for every single movie. I don't need to know it. I don't need to know who the craft services person was, because if they have a different view on something than I do, then I'm not going to watch that movie. It's just silly. So coming into this, I was judging it by the pictures that we had seen. I'd been disappointed by some of those pictures. I had liked some of those pictures. I've said nonstop, the cape is amazing. The cape is fantastical and the stuff of dreams. The rest of the outfit, it's growing on me, but only now that I've seen it now in action, I should say. I don't like any of the stills that it's in. It looks frumpy. It doesn't look right. But watching this today showed me something. And I would hope that we would all kind of see this. And James Gunn has said this even, that he's taking from old and new. He's inspired, yes, by Christopher Reeve. Obviously, this trailer heavily, right? You get those feelings, those vibes from it, but not just those vibes. There's a lot of Man of Steel vibes in this movie trailer. And I've seen people criticizing that. Well, we open up and he's hurt and bleeding and whatever. Like, oh, so much for a happy, hopeful Superman. No, Superman needs to fight things, and Superman also needs to save cats and trees. It's all Superman. It's all who he is. And it's okay. It's all right. So I will tell you now my feelings on this, and then I will open it up for everybody else's initial feelings on it. I welled up at one point. I felt the emotions at one point. Watching the interactions between Clark and Lois, realizing, oh, this movie we're going to see Clark and Lois in this movie. It's not just going to be Superman and Lois, Clark and Lois. I even really didn't mind watching him be kind of frumpy. And I kind of have a little bit of an issue with that, right? I mean, I don't think that Clark should be just frumpy because Clark is the real person. But as long as it's not goofy and dorky, and I don't get that vibe from him. He's just kind of a clumsy big guy. And that was okay. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, man, was giving me Smallville Michael Rosenbaum vibes. And Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex Luthor. The cameos from the other characters, I'm sorry, but Guy Gardner still looks like crap.
He looks like a dick.
He does, but he also looks like Little Lord Fauntleroy. Like he looks like he should be prancing in, like with a leotard on.
He looks like Peter Dinklage in that one SNL skit.
Yes. Space Pence.
Yeah.
Space Pence.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got from it.
I still think Mr. Terrific looks the best out of the three.
Dude, he does. He does.
I like Hawk Girl too, though. I like the way that Hawk Girl looked. But of course she's moving in the thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, out of the three.
If for the record, I never think Guy Gardner looked cool. I don't care what iteration.
No, I'm not saying he looks cool. No, yeah.
There's no way you could translate his look and make it look cool. So when I saw his bowl cut, I'm like, yeah, that's a horrible haircut. But you know what? That's Guy Gardner. So what I gotta say about it?
I feel you, man.
I mean, it's comic accurate, but it just sometimes comic accurate just looks a little bit awkward.
It's comic accurate, but it's comic accurate beyond.
Yeah,
I would say because the haircut is not just a bowl haircut. It's literally made to. It's like Unfiltered said, it's intentionally bad, right? And it looks like somebody just really just chopped up his hair. But anyways, to finish my comment about all that is just, I liked what I saw. I liked the action that I saw. I liked seeing some of the shots, man, that you could tell were inspired by Man of Steel. Some of the flying scenes, the going up into the sky. I mean, looked very, very much like that. I like that. Now, I want to talk about crypto. Okay. Does anybody remember when they first announced crypto? There was a voice actor at least attached to it, and I know they didn't say that crypto was going to be talking, but when I saw there's a voice actor, now it could just be that they're doing dog sounds or whatever for it, and that's fine. But beyond that, I was concerned about that. And then when James Gunn came out and said, no, he's not going to talk, I was like, all right. Now, the other question was then crypto just a dog, or was crypto a super dog? Crypto is obviously a super dog. I got 4 dogs, man. It just got to me. I saw people mocking that today. Oh yeah, Superman needs his dog to take him home. Are you kidding me? If I was Superman and I just got my butt handed to me and I just beat something, because that's what I have the feeling is like Superman just finished probably beating that kaiju or whatever,
Man of Steel's best friend, man's best friend.
Right, and just gets leveled and stuff, and then he's like, because he whistles for crypto.
Yeah, he calls for help a little bit.
He calls for him, man, and the dog comes and he's like, take me home, man. Like, that's if you're gonna put crypto in it, that's how you put crypto in.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So, he's not. He's cute, a little bit of comic relief, but no, crypto is integral to Superman and his story and way. Like
we've seen,
he is his
only Kryptonian thing that he has at this moment. Unless we don't know if he knows.
I will say though,
Supergirl.
this crypto has a lot to live up to though, because there has already been a live action
Titans,
crypto
yeah, Titans.
on Titans, and I love that crypto.
The Titans one is great.
F that
crypto.
show, F that dog, F every character in there.
Facts.
Burn it.
Where
Burn
again? Okay. Well,
Facts.
okay. Hey, it was really
Facts.
great having you on, Austin. Too bad you couldn't stay with us because your
That's
trash
unfortunate.
opinions, but you didn't really matter anyways, and we really just kind of kept you around.
You know, you just can't handle the truth. That show was trash. That show was trash.
I've
What's
not
that?
seen a single episode of
You
that.
just couldn't handle the truth. That show
listen,
is trash.
Listen. I didn't finish the 4th season, I will admit, but I liked the show up to that point. So, sorry. I like the characters.
It was a show.
I like the characters. I can't help it.
It sounds like you sound like the Arrowverse fans. They said, "Oh, we were okay until season whatever."
No, listen. I just like what I like. I like what I like.
Hey, that's completely fine. That is.
I like what I
completely
like,
fine.
and I dug that show, and you know what? And now it's not, But so I dug. I just, for this being a teaser, I just really dig the vibe that it gave. I thought that it showed who he was going to be as Superman without him having to say too much. Him saving the girl was cool. There was so much good in this. There was so much that was Superman. Now, is that the exact same version or portrayal that Henry Cavill made? No. But are all those good things that are in this Superman or Christopher Reeve's Superman or whatever, were all those same traits in Henry Cavill's Superman? Absolutely. It's all there.
The thing I wanted to say to you that I really appreciated, and I wanted to ask you about this too, because there was, for two things. One, there was almost no dialogue outside of the opening, but also this was a very serious tone trailer. Like there was not any jokes or humor or nothing. Like it was just, and you see scenes of like Superman being defeated and injured. You see him walking, like being sullen and upset, like a crowd of people angry at him. And yeah, I appreciated that this trailer took itself very seriously. I think that it was really important to show that, because you've had a lot of people being concerned that, well, it's James Gunn, he's known for comedy. This trailer did not look like a comedy.
No.
To me, at least.
No, that I see. So RJ, that's a great point, because that's one of my points. Is I've been very concerned with the tone, because because DC should be more serious than Marvel, just in its tone, I feel, and I get it. There's people who they don't like the real serious tone, but like we have Batman, you know what I mean? Like it's got to be serious at some point, and I'm sorry, I get it. Well, people say, well, but Superman lives in this world and Batman lives in that. No, they all live in the same world, so they have to interact. So you can't just be like, well, Superman's always in the bright light and Batman's only in the dark. No, it's not how real world works. And I don't like. I feel insulted if that's the case. And I love Superman enough that I don't want to joke a second. I don't want there to be like a serious moment where you're concerned for somebody. Say we're concerned for Clark, or we're concerned for Lois. And then all of a sudden, here comes somebody that just has to come in and break all the tension with a joke, like happens in Marvel sometimes. Okay? That's been my concern. What I liked about this trailer is what you just said, RJ, because yesterday, or was it the day before, James Gunn came out and he talked about how this movie was different than his other superhero things, like Guardians of the Galaxy. And he said there's humor in Superman, and there should be humor in Superman. There should be some lightheartedness. You got a Jimmy Olsen, if they're going to have an Otis, there should be some kind of humor.
Or a Crypto.
Or a Crypto.
Guy Gardner.
But you could do Guy Gardner where he was just like a real, jerk. But
well, even Guy Gardner doesn't. I'll be honest. Besides the actual look, I didn't get a very funny feel from Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner.
He looked like he was angry at Superman.
Yeah, he seriously shoots his ring to.
We'll get to there in a second. Let's get to there in just a second.
Right.
So I would just say though that I think that's a really good point, because I lost my train of thought because of what we were last cycle. What did
about
you
the
say?
tone?
Oh yeah, about the tone because he talked about how the Superman movie was going to be serious, that it was going to feel serious. It was going to have humor in it, but it wasn't going to be like Peacemaker or Joke a Second, and it wasn't going to be like, Guardians. It was going to be this. So to see this and have it start off the way that it started off, it subverted, I think, what there were a lot of people scrambling trying to find things wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people who wanted to hate on it from the beginning, and they're like, whoa. And a lot of what it resulted in was, well, if it's going to be serious, then why couldn't they have just gone ahead and, continue? Because
Well,
it's a new story. It's
that's why
a
the
new
comic
direction.
complaint you're seeing is that, oh, it looks cheap. That's the easiest thing you can go to now. Yeah.
What looks cheap about that trailer? Please tell
me.
me.
So I would say this. If you're wondering my opinion about the trailer, if I gotta button it up and then give it to you guys, I would say this is a great trailer. This was what it needed. For the first time I'm seeing in a long time the world talking about Superman in a positive way. Now, is it exactly the Superman that I love personally? No. But is it Superman, and do I love Superman? Yes. And that means I love Superman if he's in Super Friends. I love Superman if he's Dean Cain. I love Superman if he's Christopher Reeve. I love Superman if he's Superboy played by Gerard Christopher, or even John Newton, who I'm not that big of a fan of. You know what I mean? Like, I love it. I love the character. And so I see the character in this. This is Superman. And I feel good now getting ready to go into the movie. Now, again, I still reserve the right to come back after I see this movie and go, no, this movie is crap. Because I will be honest with you, I had all the feels for Superman Returns and felt the nostalgia and walked in with my best friend Rusty to go see it in IMAX. Man, excited to see Superman with my buddy that we used to read comics together. And I was disappointed. So, and the world was disappointed. It just didn't catch on. It wasn't, but leading up to it, everybody was like, oh my God, he looks like Christopher Reeve. It's a sequel. They're picking right up, man. It's going to be awesome. And they all had that same energy. And I think that we got to remember that you always have this kind of energy behind anything. Everybody always talks about how everybody was the greatest actor ever. Of course, nobody's going to say, like if they had concerns of whether he was Superman or not. And I'm not saying that there is. I'm just saying that, like, who's ever going to come out and go, well, yeah, I'll tell you what, we made the movie, but I don't know about that David Cornsweet that I hired. He wasn't that great. Like, nobody says that. Everybody's going to say, oh man, his acting was the best thing ever. But how many movies have we heard that about? For goodness sake, James Gunn himself said that the Flash movie was the greatest superhero movie, like, of all time. And I'm sorry, I liked the Flash movie a lot. But it was not the greatest movie of all time. Okay, so let's be honest, right? So I'm looking forward to see what the movie is, and I hope that there's a lot more of this good that we saw. So I would say, I would give it a 5 out of 5. It did exactly what it needed to do to get my attention and to get me excited about Superman. Now, I will say this, you won't see me buying one of those hats, though, because I hate the way that they're putting the logo on stuff. I don't like the way that I love the logo. I love the logo. I don't like the way that it's presented on a lot of stuff. What do you
mean by that?
Okay, have you seen the hats? Like the embroidered hats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look weird to me. I don't it looks wrong. It looks
Are you talking about the ones they have on the DC shop, the new hats?
Yeah, like the one, the guy Soups?
Oh yeah.
He's always wearing one now, right? And so it's just like this, except for it's not the traditional logo or whatever. It's the new logo, and that embroidery just doesn't look that great. I don't know. It's a weird thing, and I don't like. I'll be honest with you. I gotta admit, I'm keeping it real here. A lot of times when we see the logo, I'm a little concerned for the logo because they've made the logo look very cartoony. Like when you see this. It looks washed out. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? And because this is what is put on everything. This washed out version is on the poster. This washed out version is on different things. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks real world in the movie.
I see like on T-shirts and stuff like that, like the yellow is more vibrant than what you just showed too. So it's like, yeah. There needs to be like consistency when it comes to like shading or whatever.
That's what I'm getting. I'm not degrading it or anything. I like I said, it's just, like I'm still looking for the right shirt or whatever, where I like how the logo looks, where it looks clean to me. I haven't seen that yet.
I think we using that Kingdom Come one is going to be a little more difficult to put it on like merch and have it like look good as like the traditional esque. Cause like I don't know, just the way it's shaped and obviously the color stuff. Like I feel like they're gonna have a little harder time to putting that on stuff than doing the traditional one. I still like the logo. I at first I didn't because I'm not a big fan of that Kingdom Come logo, but then seeing how he was trying to mix all the logos, kind of like homage to different logos together with that, I started to warm up to that a lot more.
Yeah, I like that. Now, Austin, what did you think, man? I know that you're kind of on a schedule here, so like, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I got to split after this, but I really enjoyed it. I was very pleasantly surprised. I've definitely had my criticisms leading up to it. I haven't liked everything that I've seen, from set photos and things like that. So this put a lot to ease. I think you kind of nailed it. Look, we're gonna understand why the movie was originally called Superman Legacy, like James Gunn said. Like, I think it's gonna draw from a little bit of everything. From Donner, I get major animated series vibes from this trailer, which that really excites me because that's the Superman that I want to see, right now. I know some of the complaints I saw was that they missed the grounded thing, and I'm like, yes, but I'm tired of like DC wanting to do everything in the grounded universe. That's not what DC Comics is. It's a big fantastical world, and there's a lot that hasn't been shown in the movies, like Crypto acting like this, and the big S on the Fortress of Solitude is back, and all these like I'm excited to see him lean into the fantastical.
That is cool because we have never really seen that comic-y, that comic book world really come to life,
right?
Well,
in a DC
have like the robots in the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, he's got the like. There's so much that feels like a lived-in Superman world and Metropolis and universe. That two shots in the trailer really got me. The one I know people are gonna have their thoughts about it, but I'm sorry, that one of him saving the kid, which in my thought was even a little like homageous to Snyder with the slow-mo and all of that, like the way that it kind of works. I thought it looked so freaking cool. And
that's great that you say that, because like I literally saw somebody tear that apart today and act like that shot looked horrible, and I'm like, and listen, if the guy, there's one guy who messaged me today. I want to make clear, I do mean there are several people who messaged me today, because there's one guy in particular that I know I have conversations with on an ongoing thing, and I know he knows how I feel, I know how he feels, but we don't agree on everything, but we're friends. And but I got a joke to you though, because I wasn't talking about you there, but he did send me this list, man, of everything that he said was wrong with the trailer. I mean, dude, it was comprehensive. It was everything down to there's too much lighting. I don't like the way this look. I mean, it was funny.
You have too much time on your hands.
Well, yeah, I don't want. I'm not saying this to insult him, because, like I said, he's a friend of mine. He's a friend of the channel, and it just was what it was. So I don't want to make it look like I'm making fun of him for his opinion. It's just it was kind of funny to me, because like he's asking me my opinion, and he sent me this whole list, and I was like, dude, it's really not that big of a deal to me. I think that it's going to be okay. And obviously he's a big time Snyder fan, but I also understand him because he discovered Superman through Zack Snyder, and I think that that's an important thing to remember, that there are people who they didn't know these characters before, and I know it's hard for us to sometimes imagine that, but they didn't, and so this is how they are. So like when they see something else, it throws them off. But it was really funny because he sent me this whole list, right, of reasons why that this was bad, and it was. And I said, dude, you could have just said, I knew I wasn't going to like it before I even watched it. I only watched it because I knew I was going to hate it, and I wanted to complain about it and see if
Right.
anybody else complained about it too. You know, and I kind of teased him a little bit about it. I'm like, you could have just said that without everything.
Honestly. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I get there are some people, criticisms people have and things like that. I mean, I'm willing to listen to it if it's legit and stuff, but so much of it just felt like, I really can't see what you can complain about because you gave me everything Superman needed to be. You gave me his dog. You gave me him with other superheroes.
Right.
You gave me him, showing hope. I love too how Gunn is describing it. It was like he sees the human kindness that humans don't see in themselves, and he continues to push for that. For me, the trailer did everything right. I think the only complaint I think we'll get from some people that I can kind of understand is that the score or the rock theme, Donner theme, which I like it. There are hints of Zimmer in there, but it's definitely more Donner. And so I do hope
that the Zimmer stuff is the foundation. Like that's because and it's not to take away from it. It's just that like the when I first heard that with the poster, the moving poster,
that was cool.
Like it comes in and that's obviously highly inspired by Zimmer. And you hear that, and that just what it is it's that base layer. It's that foundation for the music that's on top of it, and that was what was really cool about that was that you had
they combined
it. Yeah, the drawing from even Zack Snyder's horrible thing, right? That people want to act like is so horrible. Like, no, hey, there's that, and then guess what? Here's some of that, and I loved how they did that because, look, they hit it 2 on the nose with Superman Returns, right?
It was the direct
idea. I get the idea of Williams' theme being kind of a basis, like almost like James Bond, right? Where it's like you kind of have the same music, but you do it in different ways, or you kind of mix it up. I can even see that. That'd be cool because everybody wants to go back to it. There's some things you can fight, but why?
Yeah, well, I think it's got to become kind of like the Batman. There are hints of the Burton Batman theme in all of the Batman themes. But they're all different. They're all, some definitely lean more towards that original Batman theme than I would say the Batman theme, the new one leans more towards that Burton,
more towards Kurt Cobain.
Right? Yeah, something in the way. But yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed the trailer. I thought it did everything that it needed to do as far as for a teaser and for this film. Like we're gonna get more and more stuff now. A lot. More frequently. As far as now that they've started the release campaign and marketing campaign. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so far I was already in, but this definitely solidified it. But yeah, with that, guys, I do have to unfortunately pop out of here. I'm seeing Sonic 3.
So, that's where Isaac is right now. So
give me some Keanu Reeves Hedgehog, but yeah, you can find me Borderlands Studios. I have a new short film out.
Nobody cares, Austin.
Okay,
don't you know
I'm not relevant?
I'm just, no. Seriously, no, because I want you to promote the film, dude. That's cool.
No, go check out Borderlands Studios. I have a new short film we just put out. We're really happy and excited with. So check that out. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think and stuff. And then I'll be reacting to this and all the fun Superman stuff. I'll be on the vodka stream tomorrow night. Maybe Enosh will pop in. Maybe with the super talks. Maybe we'll get a surprise. But yeah, Borderlands Studios, and then vodka stream tomorrow on the Film Junkie.
Look at you on like streams and stuff like you matter.
People can't.
By the way, we're not just being a jerk to Austin. It's a joke. It's an inside.
This is an inside joke.
Thank you. Somebody's gonna and they're gonna be like, "Look how Enosh treats people."
Well, apparently, guys, like I said, I guess I'm just kept around. Not a.
Oh, no, never let it be said that I just kept Austin around.
Oh, I want to be on the vodka stream.
Bye,
He
Austin.
seems pretty relevant.
I'm in a coke field rage. Again, both hands are up here. I didn't do that.
I
what's
got
the... All right, Austin. Well, we
Oh
love you,
yeah,
man.
love you guys.
What's up,
We'll
Fourth
see-
1000,
See
bro?
ya,
Real
Peace.
quick before peace, brother. Real quick, I just want to get to a couple of these real quick. First of all, Blue Jay with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Blue Jay. Says that shot of Hot Girl alone makes up for Madam Web.
Yes.
Isabella, Mercedes, my bae.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think just her waking up in the morning makes up for Madam Web.
Yeah. My girlfriend tried to justify watching Madam Web because she loves Dakota Johnson, but as she was kind of talking about it,
Wait, she loves to what?
She loves Dakota Johnson. She loves watching.
She loves to code her what?
Oh my God, Dakota Johnson.
Oh, well, thank you. I was like, what did he just say? She likes to do what now?
No, she loves her and she watches
Hey,
all
by
her
the way,
projects.
By the way,
And
thank you, Shayna.
This stream wouldn't have happened without me.
ooh, the freeze frame.
Yes,
No.
the return of the freeze frame. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, she loves all that she's in. She's seen pretty much everything she's in, but her trying to defend that film was astonishing. She's like, as like a standalone movie, it was okay, but as like a Marvel film, superhero film, it was awful. I'm like,
Yes.
Overall, it's just a horrible film. I think you
See,
just
that's
need to
what I
come
love
to
about
terms.
Shayna. That's great about Shayna just coming in while you were talking about that, because Shayna really, really, really wanted to see Madam Web. And when all the bad reviews came out and everything, she was like, no, I still want to see it. No, please don't talk bad about it and stuff. and we're just like, I'm telling you, Shayna, everybody's, that I know, that I like, people that I respect, they say that it's awful.
And that's a whole other conversation regarding
Right.
his track record with that. That's a
Right.
whole other conversation.
So one night, Shayna and I sat down to watch the movie, and we both looked at each other at some point. We were like, we can't go further. This is so bad. We just no.
Bless
we
her
can't
soul.
go.
Bless her.
It's just kind of disappointing, and it's like also like how do they just consistently just say, yep, this is good? Like from Morbius should have been like the telltale sign.
Dude,
like,
I feel like when this video is done, we should start another one about my concerns about the fact that Sony had the rights to use Spider-Man and never did
the whole time.
Oh
oh my
gosh.
dude, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
that
A
is
whole other
that-
conversation because
I
Sony
know
just-
that's like another stream and a half.
that's what I'm saying.
How many times did we sit here in the last?
Like, why isn't Spider-Man in these movies?
Right.
We had 3 Venom films, but not a single
And we
Spider-Man.
justified it even. Say like, okay, we get it. They can't use Spider-Man, but they've got these characters. We understand. It's not.
No,
good,
I
but
told you. You let them get away with this BS. They gonna keep giving you BS.
It's honestly just kind of sad.
I
And
saw
it's-
Craven too,
yeah.
and it was terrible. So,
Dude,
like, 6
I've
movies in a row, bruh. 6 movies in a row. When are we gonna learn?
I've seen dialogue from that movie on TikTok, and oh my god, is it bad? Like at some point, I just gotta wonder if they're just like straight up just going to like the new AI and just letting.
This is a Superman video, by the way, guys.
This is a
Yeah.
Superman video. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like Sony must hire like the cheapest writers and overall just the cheapest staff everywhere because
they're just like they go down to a Starbucks and they're like, hey, the guy's like, yeah, my name's Bob. Your name's Bob? Bob?
yeah,
you haven't
whoever's
written anything?
whoever's typing on a MacBook in a Starbucks.
Right.
We hire you.
You get a Sony Spider-Man movie, and you get a Sony Spider-Man.
It's the modern day.
Can we use
what-
Spider-Man? Yes, but no. Anyway,
modern day slogan: "We want you."
I gotta tell you, DL, you just said that today. I was at work, and this lady that works there, she all of a sudden she just gets up and she kind of announced everybody. She goes, I went and saw Craven, and I really liked it, and I was like, we all just kind of like went, well, that was interesting, and I asked her, I said, well, can you tell me something? Like, what was it about Craven that made you go, I want to go see that movie? That's the Sony movie that I want to see. She had not watched any of the other Sony movies. I'm like, what was it about Craven? She goes, well, I like animals. We're like,
all right.
Yeah. Okay. But like, Like, and then we got into this, deep discussion about the differences between this Craven and the regular Craven, who like hunts animals,
The real
and kills
Craven.
them for sport. But I digress. But hey, thank you, Blue Jay. Also here we got hey, my good friend Ryan Hartwell, love you, bro. With a $5 super chat, thank you, sir. Says, I've been meaning to ask, have you seen the Christopher Reeve documentary, Superman: The Christopher Reeve Story? Yes. Well, I should say. I've seen about 2/3 of it. I did not finish it. Some stuff came up and I had to walk away from it. I love Christopher Reeve. And I don't mean this to sound any kind of way. I don't need people to tell me that Christopher Reeve was a good person for me to like Christopher Reeve anymore. You know what I mean? Everything that is ever done about that is just like it's like trying to tell us what we should think about Christopher Reeve. And it's like, I love Christopher Reeve. I can see what he's done. And I don't mind being told, hey, he's a good person. I think he was. I think he was great. It's just there wasn't really anything new about this documentary that I've seen so far. It was, there was a couple of new...
Yeah, I can only speak for myself at least, but I felt the stuff that was most interesting and new was talking about his history with Robin Williams.
Yes!
And really,
I mean, I knew about that, but yeah.
Yeah, that I thought was interesting. The other big thing, though, is that I didn't know much about his second wife at all. I didn't know much about her and what she had done, and like that. I didn't know anything about his family history either.
Okay.
So for me, that stuff was interesting. You know.
And I guess that's where like I have to realize like I'm kind of transitioning into a different section of life where it's like I have knowledge of things that like I just knew, that I've just known is after having watched so many things over the years that like I get that, right? So like there's other people who don't know all these things about certain characters that I've loved, or paid attention to. Maybe they didn't pay as much attention. I know he tried to break out of that so many times, but it's so weird like especially when you see like mid 80s Christopher Reeve with like blonde highlights and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It just doesn't seem right, but but it's like we got to remember he was a guy and he had a family and I do love seeing that stuff, the seeing the Christmas stuff and and all that.
Well, I think also too it didn't shy away. What I appreciate is that it was honest in some aspects. Like he did have issues with his first marriage and like being there for his kids sometimes, like, and I appreciate when documentaries about stuff like this, they show both the good and the bad, and obviously they focus more on the good than the bad, but they it's nice that the filmmakers had the integrity to say, yeah, like there were some issues with his first marriage,
Yep. No, absolutely. I absolutely feel you on that. Anybody else have any thoughts on the Christopher Reeve movie?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched like half of it. Like you, like I wasn't able to finish it, and I haven't had a chance to go back to it. But like, yeah, I'm a similar boat because like most of the Christopher Reeve stuff I already knew. So like watching this, I mean, it was nice to see the stuff with Robin Williams, obviously, and knowing a little bit more about his family. But in general, like I kind of already knew the majority of stuff about his life. Also, I don't know if I'm going to get hate for saying this. I probably am. I feel like over the past couple of decades, we have been really over romanticizing Christopher Reeve just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Let me blow you up here for just a second.
Yeah, good. Go and send your hate mail and your
everyone
over to me.
Everyone get ready to clip this.
Yes.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
might have to turn my camera off so I'm not on screen with him. Although I probably agree with him about this, and that's what I was trying to say a second ago, but I didn't have the balls to say it, so that's why we got this man right here.
Yes. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like we are over romanticizing Christopher Reeve a little bit. And this is coming from someone who is also like the biggest Superman fan. Probably not as much as Enoch, but I'm pretty big. But
clip that.
Hey.
I mean, yeah, you're probably not as big as Enoch, but you're pretty big.
Pretty big. My fiance knows. Anyway,
go for it. I'm sorry. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. I obviously appreciate Christopher Reeve for the original Superman movies, obviously. But those were the first Superman movies I've ever watched. But I'm one of those Superman fans that like aren't stuck with the Reeve era stuff because there are other iterations of Superman that I appreciate, and honestly, there are other iterations of Superman that I think did better stuff than Christopher Reeve. I guess I'm not allowed to say that either. So like, I don't know. It'll be one thing if like Christopher Reeve was able to break out of the Superman,
Right.
fame stuff, but he didn't really. Like, if it feels like we're just holding on to the memory of the Superman movies and nothing else. Not to take away from Christopher Reeve as a person, because like it's just like we just put so much emphasis on Christopher Reeve because of the original Superman movies, and it's just like they're always looked at as the standard when it comes to superhero films, and I feel like the comic book genre has evolved since then, so I just feel like we shouldn't be like stuck on this certain iteration. And that's one of the when I eventually get to my thoughts on the trailer, that's one of the things I appreciate with James Gunn. Like, yes, he will still take inspiration from Christopher Reeve, but he takes inspiration from other versions of Superman as well. He's an overall fan of the character, not just this one version of the character.
Yeah, no, look, I think this Shayna, you bring it up so great, and that is the fact that Christopher Reeve himself, had talked about he talked about passing the torch on to somebody else, and he talked about how like he was the custodian of this character for now.
He went on Smallville.
Right, but he recognized that other people were going to come along and play this character, and I guarantee you that if Christopher Reeve were alive today, based on everything that he said publicly about the character, about the way that he felt about it, about the way that he felt about passing the baton, that's why he went on Smallville, was to pass the baton to Tom Welling, because they took so much from the Reeve verse, right, that it was very much like that. So he went on that to pass the baton, to show his support, and he showed his support for others. To just, and I don't know how we got off on this, but I think it also talks about like the fact, like even in this movie, right? If you do things too much, it takes away from the specialness of it. And no, I don't think that Christopher Reeve himself would feel probably comfortable with the amount of just everything that people put on him, as there can be no other, He wanted there to be others. He wanted there to be other people to take this character to new heights. He talked about, so, it is what it is, but thank you for that. And then, oops, let me go back over here. Thank you, DL. Whoops. Is it going to let me back over here? There we go. All right. Fourth 1000 with a $2 super chat. Thank you. Fourth 1000 says, we lost Cavill for this cheap crap.
Oh boy.
Hey, I mean, that's why all opinions are welcome.
All opinions are welcome, bro. And look, I get where some of that comes from, because there's parts of it that does look.
Well, I want to say this too. Like, when I saw the teaser for the teaser, and even watching the trailer, I will say one of my concerns is some of the visuals. And again, I'm not a film expert at all. Okay, like, so I'm talking out of my butt as a fan. Okay. But you see a lot of people talking about like the color grading and like the color correction and stuff, and you see a lot of like the way some of it reminds me a little bit, because the cinematographer's the same one who shot The Flash. Mm-hmm. Some of it reminds me of The Flash, and I worry a little bit about that because some of the CG and some of the way that movie looked was a little wonky. So I hope that's not the same here.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, some shots look exactly like that, with kind of like almost like a V,
especially
sort of
like
type shot,
or sometimes like the lighting with stuff. That's my only. And again,
it looks like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And
like,
I'm not a.
It looked like ass.
And I don't know anything about that or how that works. I just know, like, I just hope the movie visually looks good. and so far it looked pretty good. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
like
that
some of
was
the
one my
shots really reminded me of some action sequences from the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, which, I mean, it's granted, but it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, some of it.
And I
just
think
don't
that's
know.
why you're seeing some people be like, "Oh, it looks so cheap and cheesy," because it
not-
has that same
Well, like
visual.
It's not by the same.
40,000
It's
here.
not by the same person who did Guardians 3 and the Flash movie. So it makes sense. I mean, personally, I think James Gunn should have just hired a different person if he was gonna do Superman, not bring back your buddy. But I get it. You got to bring back your buddy because that's your
I mean,
friend.
he did Nathan Fillion. I mean, that's just kind of thing.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
Taylor
I mean,
Sheridan
you know,
does the
okay,
same thing.
So I would just say this
cast.
about that. I would just say about I don't want to get to
Oh my
Nerd
God, I
Costa
hate him.
Nostra. I want to get to I want to get to Nerd Costa Nostra here in a second and get his opinions. I want to get to a couple of these super chats, but no, look, every director has teams that they work with, right? Nobody in the Snyder fandom was bitching or complaining about Zack bringing on the people that he brought on. We were all like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, oh yeah, he's been in other movies. She's been in other movies. That's awesome. Every director has people like that. You may not like the people that, they use. I get that. But that's personal taste, right? Like I see all this like going on. Like Gunn's just using his brother. Well, Gunn uses his brother in everything. So what's different about this? Nothing. I'm sorry. It's complaining just to complain, And
It's a common thing in Hollywood now. Like, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like Robert Eggers uses Willem Dafoe, and like I think it's his third to fifth project. Taylor Sheridan uses one of the same actors in all of his shows. It's like it's a common thing in Hollywood nowadays
yeah.
that directors and creators bring back certain people because they're easy to work with.
Look how far back that goes. Look at Tim Burton, man. Tim Burton.
Winona Ryder,
every movie,
yeah.
I mean,
Christopher Nolan. Come on now.
It's the thing.
Steven Spielberg.
Sometimes it's
everybody. That's the point.
Not a no-brainer that creators sometimes bring back similar people.
Dennis
Who know how to
Villeneuve?
work with them and stuff like that, and they're able to do.
What did you call him? What did you call him, man?
I call him Dennis Villeneuve. Just call me by his regular name, Dennis.
I said directors and creators.
Dennis Naboo. Oh God.
Okay. Yes, Gunn fans. It's so colorful. Snyder. Yes, it is. I would like to point out, Zack Snyder is on record as having said, "I'm looking forward to seeing Superman." So there you go.
He's been supportive of James Gunn for the last.
He has, yeah.
Months.
It just goes without saying. Blue Jay with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Blue Jay again. Says, here's the thing. I think Superman is a boring character, but this is my most anticipated movie of 2025. And you know what? If that trailer did that, Blue Jay, it accomplished its job. It did what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to grab people's attention. Now, I will say this. I hope that all of this positivity that we're seeing towards Superman right now doesn't turn out like we've seen it before, where people were super excited about stuff, and then all of a sudden, like when it came time to actually go to the theater,
nobody goes.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh well, like I'm busy this weekend, or like I'm gonna wait to see what the reviews are, and then listen to other people and all that kind of stuff, right? Because
I think
kills it.
I think you might have to expect that the first time around, because this is them trying to gain the trust back of the audience and people that got sick of the DCEU before. So like people are saying that this movie needs to make a lot of money. They're like, it's not going to make a lot of money. It's
probably going to make the same. It's probably going to make 700 to 750 million, which is fine for Superman.
And they should be happy with that, because the most important thing they need to worry about is making sure this movie is great.
Yes.
If a majority of people like it, then the movies and shows after that will be successful after that, because they laid the foundation there.
Well, yeah,
and
that's
then,
like the biggest thing.
This final super chat, and then I want to go to Nerd Costa Nostra. Rational Skeptic, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says that trailer was awesome. It showed Superman having personal struggle. That's what I like. And not just smiling the whole time. A mix of Snyder and Arrowverse Superman.
I do see it, actually. I do see it was I do see it, yeah.
See, this is where I struggle, because I can't be a hypocrite, right? Because I don't like Superman and Lois at all.
I disagree with you, but
Oh my
and
god,
that's fine. And that's fine.
That had me in fucking tears.
I
the
have
last
not watched.
episode.
Listen, I have not
Oh,
watched
the last
the
season was
finale.
amazing, yo.
I have
can't
not
lie.
watched the
That's-
finale. I will admit, I have not watched the finale, but I watched the first 3 seasons, and I've watched the first 3 episodes this season. And the first three episodes have been really hard for me to get through. Like,
I'm with you there.
it's been so slow and boring, and I did not like the way he fought Doomsday the first time. I guess.
Oh
Like,
my
where,
God!
Where like they made
Dude.
a point just to say, well, we're going to take him out in space so that he can't hurt anybody. Like, what's the point of Doomsday then? I don't know. It just
Stop putting Doomsday in Superman shows, please. Stop.
I mean,
I
hey,
will admit,
at
I
least
will
they
admit
put
that
him in the final
Doomsday at
form.
least looks good from what I've seen on the
Yeah.
pictures. The
The
Doomsday
final
looks good.
form, yeah.
Yeah, he does look like a cave troll from Lord of the Rings.
Right,
Dude,
right.
the
I'm sorry, I
initial-
did not buy the McFarlane set. I'm sorry.
The first version that they had of Doomsday looked really weird with like the human eyes and like the straight like teeth. It was really bad. But the most recent one they did after he came back in the final season actually looked like Doomsday and was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I saw that.
gosh,
So like, I don't want to be a hypocrite about it, you know. Like, look, I'm not here to poo-poo on anybody's Superman. If you ask me my opinion, you want to have a conversation about it, I'll have a conversation with you about it. But it is what it is. Anyways, that being said, Mr. Nerd Costa Nostra, you have been so like patient and quiet over there, just biding your time and
Because this might be my last. After what I have to say, this might be my last show.
No, dude, all opinions are welcome, bro.
let's
all
go.
opinions are
Let's
welcome.
go. No,
I mean,
bro,
we-
you know,
honestly, we
dude,
appreciate
you
it.
know how I have felt about this, and I'm gonna be, you know, we all gonna share our opinions, and that's it, man.
No, I remember when we did the show when the first image dropped, right?
Right.
And we were talking about the suit, and it wasn't the most flattering first like introduction, right? To the Superman, to the suit, to what this is going to look like. And I think at the time, a lot of us, because we all knew the work he had put in to get in shape, right, for this character. And I remember at the time we all talked about, it felt like the suit took away from that. It took away from all the work he had put in. I feel like that's still a valid point. The suit still looks like it just doesn't fit right to me. And again, and this isn't actually one thing I want to, before I even go any further, I want to take a step back. I've been very clear on every stream I've been on. Doesn't matter whose stream it's been on. I'm in the middle of the road person. Okay. Do I like Zack Snyder's all of his stuff? No. Do I like some of his stuff? Yes. Do I like other iterations of characters of like Superman, for example? That's the topic here. Of course I do. I grew up with the Christopher Reeve, but I'm not, as we were talking about earlier, I don't feel Christopher Reeve is the one all be all Superman standard, can't be surpassed. We've talked about, he even talked about passing the torch. I'm all for that. I'm all for seeing new iterations, new takes.
Right.
I'm not in the Snyder camp. I'm not in the Gunn camp. Okay. So this isn't coming from either perspective, and this isn't me hating on anything just to hate on it. So just want to set that foundation right up front. So we talked about the suit originally when it came out on that, that first image. I think we all share the same opinion. We were hoping that something might change with the suit. It doesn't appear like really anything did change. Now, the suit I saw in that poster that we got before, now that I was like, wow, they changed the suit.
Yep.
The suit has been altered to really fit him. And it even looked texturally different than what we had saw. So I was thinking, wow, either he heard the feedback when people were pushing back on it. This is really the suit. And I was excited to see that suit, but I didn't see that in this teaser trailer. The one thing I did appreciate about the teaser trailer were all the various Easter eggs, as we've all talked about, all the callbacks to various comics, regardless of the generation of that comic, whether it was the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, whatever specific comic book stories, whether that's All-Star or, whatever. I did like a lot of those callbacks. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm excited for this film. I'm still very much in the middle. I'm not excited to see it, but I'm also not. I'm not going to be hoping that it fails. I don't want it to fail, because if this fails, there's really no hope for anything that we would ever want to see in the future. Regardless, regardless if you're a Snyder fan and you still are holding on hopes that the Snyderverse will somehow be completed, whether that's the Justice League films, whether that's David Ayer's cut of Suicide Squad, the only way those things could ever happen is if this is successful and everything else that follows it is successful. Now, I don't feel that this was this is the introduction to this DCU. I feel we've already gotten that. We've already gotten 4 episodes of that, and that's through Creature Commandos, and that's per James Gunn. He said this is the introduction to my DCU. And I don't know who all, and I'm not going to go into spoilers just in case there's anyone on the panel that hasn't seen the show or there's anyone in the chat that hasn't seen it. I'm not a fan of Creature Commandos.
Oh, okay.
And it's not that I'm, again, hating on James Gunn. It's just not the show for me. Now, am I watching the show? Absolutely. And I've always said this, and I think everyone on this panel that knows me has heard me say this time and time again. I will watch a show from beginning to end. I won't make my opinion based on one episode or just a couple and just completely abandon the show and say it's trash. I'll form my opinion on it, and I'm happy to have that rational conversation with people who do like it, with me who I don't like it, and I just want and help me understand why you like it, and maybe that will change my mind. Maybe I'm looking at something, maybe you look at it differently. I don't know, but if that is the introduction to your DCU, is Creature Commandos, I'm thus far not excited to see what's going to follow. Seeing this teaser trailer, one thing I'll say is it didn't really tell me what to expect. Like there were some questions I think I left from the trailer asking myself, like with Jonathan Kent, we see him, but we don't see his mom. Now, has James Gunn taken the creative choice to say, well, instead of Jonathan dying, Martha dies, right? Like we've seen them, and I'm just throwing that question out there. I'm not saying that is the case. I'm just saying we don't see her in the trailer. So is that a potential where James Gunn takes that creative choice to say, well, instead of his dad dying, like we've seen in previous iterations, maybe Martha dies and his dad doesn't die.
By tornado.
Whether it's a tornado or a heart attack or whatever the case.
I hear when people bring that up every time.
Well,
Just
regardless,
keep them both alive.
Keep them both alive, right?
I mean, I will just say this. So it's really interesting, man, that you say that, because like for me, I'll be honest with you, I don't care about Creature Commandos. Like when they announced Creature Commandos, I was like, I don't care, because I've never read Creature Commandos. I've never been interested in Creature Commandos. To me, it looked like a cheap little, Frankenstein thing, whatever. I don't care about that. When McFarlane released the Frankenstein figure, the big mega figure, whatever, I was like, that just saved me $49, because you know what? I am never buying that thing.
Yeah.
And I'm still not going to. But the weird part about it is I start watching Creature Commandos, and for the first time ever, I'm actually interested. And I'm like, Now I'm interested in this character and that character, and even Weasel now is from.
I still don't like him. I still don't like him.
Well, that's great. That's great. But I'm the one. But I'm the one giving my opinion right now.
Yeah.
So, we'll get to you. But I'm just, you know what I mean? Like even Weasel.
Yeah.
I'm watching this episode, and I still got to finish this episode because I had to come down and start the show. But even that episode, man, like to learn a little bit more about his backstory, and maybe we don't have
it recontextualizes
right. It repositions him, right? And so it's like, oh, all right. And I'll be honest with you, man. What's her name? Who plays Amanda Waller? I don't care if she's animated or live action, man. I'm just as scared of her. Like, I'm sorry, that's Amanda Waller, and so like
Viola Davis, man.
Yeah, man, and
she's a great actress. You can never go wrong with her. Yeah,
she is. But yeah, it's really interesting. I find it fascinating how different people can watch something and everybody takes something different away from it, And it was just funny hearing you say that, because I was right there with you. I really didn't care about Creature Commandos at all, and now I'm like, wow, yeah, like I'm looking forward to the next episode now, because like they actually got me with it. So
well, and I look forward to the next episode to see, is it gonna change my mind?
Gotcha.
Is it gonna turn me to say, this now has me hooked. I'm now interested. I want to see where this is gonna take me. But thus far, like for that show, it hasn't. And thus far for this movie, for this teaser trailer, it hasn't hooked me. Again, I don't see myself rushing out to see this on opening weekend. I just don't. And that doesn't mean I don't like the character. It just means that thus far, this iteration of Superman doesn't interest me. Now, as far as the symbol goes, I mean, I'm a fan of the Kingdom Come symbol. My favorite symbol.
Gotcha.
I love the black and red. I love that story. I love that iteration of Superman. when I saw that they were using the symbol, I really wish they would have gone with black and red. I obviously know they weren't going to, but all that to say is I'm not fully bought in on this one. For those that are on the panel in the chat that are excited for this, like Austin is very excited for this. I'm happy for you all. I'm happy that you guys are pumped to see this film, to see this version of this character. I'm just not there yet. And this isn't me saying, oh, Henry Cavill's the one all be all or Christopher Reeve is the one all be all. I am completely open, and Enosh knows this. I'm completely open to any iteration, any version of a character. And will I give this one a chance? Absolutely. Will I see the film? Yeah, I'll still see the film, but I'm not rushing out to see it because again, I'm not. It just doesn't have me excited to see it yet. And I could be swayed. We could get another trailer, and it could add a little bit more context. They might polish. I mean, and I'm not saying this is what's bothering me. They could polish things up. They could. This is just a teaser. We have what, 7 months before this film even comes out. They could make some changes, and I could be hooked. I might find more about the story that could hook me and pull me in and say, yeah, now I do want to see this. But thus far, I'm just not there.
And you know what? And that's fair, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair.
Nobody's you know, I think that's the problem. I think a lot of times with modern day stuff, right, is that, and modern day ways of looking at things, like if you don't think exactly the way that I think, well, we can't even talk.
Yeah,
we can't even come to the table, right? Because we disagree on this or disagree on that, and that's just it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't get anybody any further. It doesn't solve anything. You know how many times, you know, like I've been on social media and I see somebody post something or whatever, and I go to say something and I get something, and maybe you guys have done it too. You start to post something and you just go, gosh, what am I doing? That's not even worth it. Like, because you know they're gonna come back with something else, and you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like we've gotten into this thing of like, if you don't like exactly what I like for the reasons why I like it, we can't relate. And I don't think that's fair, because I think that there was a time when we liked different characters, we liked different things, we liked different TV shows, and we all had our own thoughts and opinions about it, you know? But also, we were all kids and we could go home and play with our own toys and have our own adventures and own that. And I think a lot of times in our adultness, we look back on our childhood and we're like, we should have it that way again, and we should just be able to tell everybody the way we feel, and everybody should feel exactly, because we all had the same experience, right? No. We watched movies at different times in our lives with different circumstances going on, you know, and people, if you're in one kind of circumstance and you watch a movie that maybe has just a moment, right? If you're in an abusive relationship and you watch a movie that maybe just has a glimpse of an abusive relationship, that's going to stand out to you, right? And that's going to be like an important part of that thing. And I know that's a very serious way to look at it, but you know what I mean? But there are other things in movies that get our attention for different reasons. And so, so I would just say, you know, if it hasn't won you over, that's fine, because you know what? I was in that same boat too, man. You know, they're like, and I'm not saying that this has completely won me over, because I agree with you about the suit. I think the suit looks awful. I don't like the suit. I agreed with you about the poster. The poster looks, and it's a different suit. If you notice, like if you zoom in on the band around the S, there's a red band around the S instead of just the yellow. There is a yellow band around it, but there's a red outside of that. So I feel like that's almost like a second suit, like another suit, that because obviously the suit gets damaged.
Because we do see him in the trailer. He has a battle damaged suit, so it is possible that's just the suit he starts off with, and then later on he gets another one, because I'd imagine many people are calling it this Kaiji is the one that damages him. And I'm wondering if that particular creature, either we're going to find out Brainiac is a part of this. And we know in some comics, Brainiac has like this zoo, so to speak, of all these various creatures, but so does Superman. In some of his stories, he also has something very similar situation where he has all these various creatures, right? So the theory is that Brainiac sets this loose on Superman, and that's what we see in the trailer, but we don't necessarily know Brainiac is part of the story yet, right? Because we also see where Superman is in like this cube, and there's like these projections around him. Now we don't know if that's the Phantom Zone projections around him, if those are humans, because as soon as he breaks the glass, so to speak, you see like what appears to be a reflection of the sun. So this could be in space. He's in space. He's captured, and that sun is giving him back his power, so he can escape out of this cube that he's in, right? So, and then the only other thing I picked up on that they did kind of focus on with Lex when he was holding the revolver, he has that pinky ring. Now we do know in some stories he has a kryptonite pinky ring. Now we don't see the stone there, and we've seen this happen in trailers before. Where they will brush that out of the trailer so it doesn't just give it away, right? So
But
I'm
in
wondering
the movie, it's like bright and shining
yeah,
green.
exactly. So,
maybe he's inside of the ring.
So those types of things I can appreciate that they're calling back to the various comic stories. They're not just pulling from one source or one source material. They're kind of bringing various things in. That I can totally appreciate.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I'm open to be bought in. I'm open to be hooked. I'm just not there yet. So
No, I feel you, man. All right. Well, first of all, hold on. Simon's section here with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Simon. Good to see you, brother. Says Enosh, good to see you. Good to see you as well. Are you planning on doing an out of the theater reaction to Superman? Oh yeah. Heck yeah. We might even go live straight out the theater. We might just come. The theater's literally like a minute and a half around the corner from my house, so we might just like swing back here and just like do a live right away. And will you fool us with your thumbnail pick? I haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah, this is like half a year away.
like 7 months away.
I haven't thought about that thumbnail pick yet.
Maybe.
Stay tuned.
Oh boy.
All right.
July 11th.
All right. So who has not voiced their opinion yet? DL. That's right. DL talked for. That's right. DL was we brought DL up for another reason, but yes, DL. Regale us with your opinions about the Superman trailer.
Okay. I might have to do two after I give my thoughts too, because I got to get ready for work in the morning. But okay, so I'm probably going to be like the biggest James Gunn supporter on this panel because yeah, and it's been a while. It's been a while, Enosh. Some stuff has happened the past few months with me and Snyder. We kind of had a falling out recently. We have Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2 were absolutely awful, and I started the whole gaze that I had for Snyder is starting to dim a little bit. But I always will appreciate what he did with Man of Steel and the Snyder Cut. Man of Steel for right now is still my favorite Superman movie of all time, and Henry Cavill for right now is my favorite Superman. But ever since James Gunn got into comic book properties in general, I've enjoyed everything that he's done. And keep in mind, before he got into Marvel, I was not a fan of him at all. I thought his writing was pretty bad before he got into Marvel, but ever since he did Guardians of the Galaxy, ever since he did the Suicide Squad, he did Peacemaker, and right now watching Creature Commandos, like I really like James Gunn's storytelling, and you could tell that he's very passionate about the comic book genre, and he really understands the material that he's working on. And ever since he was became the head of DC and seeing his approach that he wanted to do with the DCU, it's something that I've always wanted to see done with the DC universe. It feels like he actually wants to give, but something that I feel has been lacking with the previous regime is actually giving the right attention to DC characters that we have not seen before. It's always been about Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, but James Gunn is not afraid to give other DC characters their time in the spotlight and actually understanding how to write these certain characters and make us actually give a crap about these characters. Like, people could say what they want to say about James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but the fact that I gave a crap about Polka Dot Man,
right?
The fact I gave a crap about King Shark, the fact I gave a crap about Peacemaker, like, that shows you how good of a storyteller James Gunn is. That's how much he understands DC lore, in my opinion. And I've said for the longest time, like, I don't want a cinematic universe to be all the way lighthearted and silly, and I don't want it to be all the way dark and serious and grounded. And James Gunn is going to give us a variety of things, and that's what I feel like the best cinematic universe should have. It should have a variety of things depending on how the character is written. You could have dark and serious stuff with Batman. You could have the hopeful stuff with Superman. You could have some silly stuff with the Flash and stuff like Plastic Man. Yes. So him approaching that with these characters,
Sorry, everybody trashing the idea of a Plastic Man. Anything can just kiss my rear end, my bony, skinny rear end.
I
now.
would love to see I would love to see the question as well.
Yeah, my body is ready for Plastic Man whenever he wants to get to it. But yeah, so far, I mean, has there been some confusing stuff with how he's like introducing the? Yes, I said what I said. My body is ready. I am yours, Plastic Man. I am yours, James Gunn. Whenever you want to give it to me.
So is every woman in Hollywood. Just kidding.
Wait, you just extended that to James Gunn, and given the history of James Gunn's tweets, I would be a little concerned that James Gunn might actually.
Oh
show
my
up.
God, we ain't bringing up those tweets again. Come on now, come on.
We're gonna have to put out an Amber Alert for DL.
Oh my gosh.
Silver alert.
Silver alert.
Has anybody seen James Gunn and DL in the same room together? Hurry!
Last scene with this man.
Oh.
Someone get a picture. Someone get a picture of him so we can put it on the milk carton.
Wow.
You become an Easter egg in the Superman movie.
John Walsh.
Oh, I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get.
It cost him everything, but yep.
Had to air the John Walsh special.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I am crying. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so far.
Do not get Pistol Pete.
Oh my gosh. So far, I have loved everything that James Gunn has done DC wise. I love this. Yes, I did. I know, and it's like now. Can I nitpick about some stuff? Yes, there's still some weird James Gunn isms here and there. There's still some weird humor here and there, but for the most part, I have enjoyed everything he's done DC wise. Like I said, he's a really good storyteller. He actually makes me care about the characters. Like there's a good. Whenever he does humor, for the most part, I think there's a good balance between the serious stuff and the humorous stuff. I don't think people are giving James Gunn enough credit when it comes to him handling the humor. Like, yes, is he known for the silly stuff? Yes, but like when he gets serious, he gets really serious in the right times, and he doesn't ruin the serious moments with the humor. Like he knows where to place them for the most part.
The Rocket stuff with Guardians.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Guardians 3 was like one of my favorite films that came out that year too. So far I'm enjoying Creature Commandos. I think it's very enjoyable. And once again, these characters that I don't really know that much about, and like dude, after the Weasel episode, I'm like, dude, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. I know everyone had mixed opinions about the set photos that came out. I'm actually one of those people that do like his suit. Is it my favorite of all time? No, but I actually admire that he's taking different homages from Superman. As we talked about earlier, he's taking different inspiration from Superman and put it into that one suit. So that's something I really appreciate, and I thought it was a really cool approach. And I've always said, wait till the context of the movie to see how he looks. We're judging off of set photos when it's not fully done. That everyone was freaking out about how it was fitted and how the color palette and the blah 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 blah. And then we see the trailer, and everyone's people are complaining about how fit the suit is now. So, so
DL, would you tell them to calm down?
Yes, calm your ass down.
And would you say it like in like a kind of like a sarcastic way? Maybe call him sweetheart.
I don't know where you're going with this. We're gonna go this other direction.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
don't
That's
know.
fine. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't-
Go whatever way you want to
I
go.
don't know where you were trying to go with there, but I'm going to take a detour wherever you tried to go there. Oh wait, well wait a minute, wait.
What?
Wait a minute. Now I just put two and two together. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't.
I was just asking if that's.
I know your fingers on the
Do
trigger.
it.
I know
I dare
your
you.
fingers on
I
the
dare you.
trigger.
I dare you.
Don't do it.
I was just asking for a friend if
No.
that was something that you would do, my friend.
I see what you try. I see what you try to do. We ain't doing it.
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Nope. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Okay.
Anyway.
Apparently, we're not doing that.
No.
I don't know what we weren't doing.
Yeah, what's going on here, DL? I think you're
DL,
seeing
you
things.
DL, you seem a little apprehensive.
Did the Superman trailer do something to you? Like alter your perception of reality? Because I don't know what's going on here.
We're all good here, DL.
Yeah.
You all good? You sure? You sure? We good? We good?
Yeah.
I mean,
you're good.
Yeah, DL, we're all good. You don't have to worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Wow. I mean, it does look like that makes sense.
That was the best unintentional setup for trying to find a video that I have not seen in over a year that I've ever done.
I knew he was either looking for it or his finger was on the trigger, and I was just delaying the inevitable. I'm just like, oh no, I'm in for it now. I'm in for it now.
It was great though because you were totally oblivious at first. You're like, what are we talking
about? And then I put two together. I was like, wait, no.
Yeah, just no one noticed the John Campea show symbol.
Oh no, I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something about that, but like, no, I was trying to.
That should make your cue.
Yeah, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the John Campea show. Like,
yeah, right. It's all right, DL.
It's all right, man.
Anyway,
things will be okay.
Oh my god, dude, that party was so. Oh, I almost just kicked that rock. I'm not gonna fall.
just jump into the snow, you moron.
He tried so hard.
Trying to get his tickets to Superman.
It's people backpedaling when the movie does $1 billion. The movie comes out of nowhere. It's like the biggest film ever. It like overtakes Avatar. Like it's like Bill and Ted. It unites the planets.
Nobody's
in
gonna
harmony.
take Avatar ever.
No, the Avatar's gonna make $3 billion. Mark.
Oh well, next week
Oh
price
my
gonna make
God.
1.56. So yeah.
You say that at Way of Water, nobody cares. Nobody's gonna go see that. $2 billion. Get out of here with that.
I hate Avatar, but it'll make $2 billion.
James Cameron, they love him.
I hate Avatar, but it'll make $2 billion just because people are.
Well, China loves James Cameron, so
they like it for some reason.
But anyway, I love the
sorry.
trailer. I love the trailer. I thought it was great. Get to the point. Yeah. The introduction of crypto was perfect. I was on board ever since they announced crypto was there. Like this is the type of weird stuff I want to see in DC. I want to see stuff like crypto. I want to see all these weird alien concepts. That like this is the chance for DC to be like. This is why I'm getting tired of like the grounded stuff with the Matt Reeves Batman, for example. Like, not saying it's a bad movie, but I want to see this over the top. Oh, okay, yep, okay.
The Penguin was amazing.
No, it wasn't.
The Penguin was awesome.
Oh, no, the Penguin's great.
No, it was
wonderful.
It's a good show.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay, so anyways, we won't get on that. Okay, so the Batman.
It's a good show, but anyway, this is the stuff I want to see in DC. I want to see the over the top. I want to see the comic booky stuff. I want to see the supernatural, the extraterrestrial, all that other stuff. and it feels like for the first time in like a while, I don't think ever, that we've seen a DC property, like let alone Superman, where they're actually just going for the crazy concepts, the aliens, the weird stuff like that. I like that this movie is getting weird. It's not afraid to do that stuff, and at the same time, you're able to take it seriously. And I think for people that were worried that James Gunn was going to make this movie really silly, I'm sure the movie's still going to have jokes. But the fact that this movie is setting a tone where it's like, you will be able to take this seriously. He's taking Superman seriously. Like, this gives me all the hope in the world that James Gunn knows what he's doing and he actually cares about this, And yeah, I loved it. I loved what we saw of Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Hawk Girl. Yes, Lois looks great. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I can't wait to see what he does. Yeah, I do get slight Michael Rosenbaum vibes. And funny enough, James Gunn said that he was the best Lex. So if that doesn't tell you anything, like Nicholas Hoult, I think he's going to kill it.
Have you watched Creature Commandos, DL? Did you say?
Yes, I did.
So the scene. I mean, they've already showed stills from it, but that scene that they show from like the supposed future or whatever, that all the heroes are.
Oh, that's his nightmare mission.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's so they show Batman, and Batman looks great, and we see Superman, and he looks like the Superman, obviously, that's in this movie. They show Wonder Woman. What does anybody think about it? I have just gotten used to the battle skirt, right?
Oh yeah, where they're going back to kind of the leotard,
the star-spangled panties.
Yeah.
Where I can appreciate it from a comic book point of view. Look, I mean, Wonder Woman, is amazing in the comic books and in the cartoons, but I don't know about live action.
It really depends on the actress and how they translate it. I think because it's animated, they have some leeway to where they can adjust it when it goes into live action. You can tweak the design a little bit. It really depends, honestly. It depends on the actress and just the way that they design it. Because how it looks in animation will be different than how it will look in a realistic actual movie.
Yeah,
I mean, you even saw the Amazons that weren't fully covered.
You even saw Peacemaker dying.
I was hoping that and I'm hoping this will be a similar approach with Batman as well, because they
Batman has the 14 ears.
Like how they were homaging different versions of Superman for Superman's suit. I was hoping they will do a similar thing with Batman and Wonder Woman, because I would want to see Wonder Woman have like a mixture of like her new 52 stuff where she's actually wearing pants, and maybe you could mix that with other versions of Wonder Woman. I don't know exactly how I would approach that personally, but it's like I would have liked to have seen a little more inspiration from other versions of suits than just the star spangled stuff like that. But we'll just have to see. But I'm a happy camper. I will be here. I will be there opening night. This got me really excited, and it's like I don't even know what the story is yet, but them setting the tone, like this is what I want to see as far as them setting a tone. Yeah, I'm liking everything I'm seeing. Can I nitpick certain things? Sure, but it's not enough to wane my excitement for this. Like, for the most part, this is really what I want to see from a Superman film. It's like they're throwing everything that I want to see in not only a Superman film, but how we're setting up a DC universe going forward. And for people worried that all these other superheroes are in here, it's not going to feel like Superman's story. I think Superman will still be the front and center, the heart of this movie. It's going to be mainly focused on him, but I like that we're already in an established DC world where superheroes already exist. It's something different that we haven't seen from stuff like Marvel. Like, we're already establishing stuff. And for instance, for people that love Invincible, you know how many superheroes and aliens and other stuff is in that show, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Invincible is the main character? It's going to be a similar thing with this. So that's how I feel.
Cool, man. Well,
he's not even hating.
You can't argue with it. I mean,
he's not okay. I mean, sure.
Sure. Yeah, it just is what it is. RJ, did you have anything else? And you've kind of shared.
I mean, I'm not sure what else I could really. I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself. I don't know. Maybe it was just. I don't know. Maybe it's just the mood I've been in this week because I've had a lot on my mind. But when the music kicked in and he saved that girl, I have to admit I actually got a little teary-eyed. I don't know why I did, especially for a trailer. Just like, I guess it just hit me emotionally. I think it's just that music. I think that music just really added to the atmosphere and just the way the tone was represented. And there's a scene that we haven't even talked about yet at all so far. The scene of like the little boy on like that war-torn country.
Oh God, yes,
holding up the Superman flag, and just like holding onto it and just shouting Superman. And this is something else. I don't know if you guys caught. I listened to the trailer with my Apple AirPods, and they have Dolby Atmos sound. Throughout the rest of the trailer, you hear people chanting Superman. Like it's different voices too, like chanting the name Superman. And I thought, wow, that like just hit different, you know? Like I was just really impressed by that. But yeah, those couple scenes just really stood out to me, and I got kind of a little emotional. I have to say.
That's the stuff I want to see. Also want to see too. Didn't mean to cut you off, but like seeing Superman be that beacon of hope, being that inspiration. Especially because we're also seeing like there's some people that like that love Superman, and then there's some people that don't like Superman, and so I'm hoping that the story that they're trying to tell in this movie is that like in a world where society is more cynical and mean spirited, and I think that's also going to be a story they'll tell with the other heroes in this, that Superman is going to stand out because he's going to help bring more optimism and hope to dire situations, and actually make people want to be a better person and stuff like that. So that's the type of stuff I want to see.
But in the trailer, though, we saw a little bit of the exact opposite. We saw the public turning on him.
We saw a guy throw a can
as he was walking into
Yeah, and he was clearly upset about something. Something bad must have happened.
He was walking into Stag Industries because that's where he ends up walking into. When he walks in, and he's looking down when the camera's panning up to look up at him at the ceiling. It says Stag Industries, and that's when we see Guy Gardner walk in. But when he's walking in, you can see how he's either lost hope in humanity or humanity's lost hope in him, just based on how the interaction is happening. So something, and he's already his suit is battle damaged at that point already.
Yeah, damage. Yeah.
So.
I have a feeling, I mean, and this is all, theorizing at this point, right? So, but I have a feeling that, like, because they said the Superman's going to be starting off kind of separate from everybody, like nobody's really, there's no Justice League, there's no anything like that. But obviously you got Maxwell Lord, who's obviously trying to unite some superheroes and put together his own, group of heroes that are under his control, or at least using his tech, that maybe they don't feel they're under his control, but maybe they are, whatever. And I have a feeling like there's going to be like some kind of bait and switch thing, right? I have a feeling like there's going to be some kind of thing where Lex is the villain, he's overseeing the whole thing, but he's using all of these different components to get to Superman, and that there's at some point some bait and switch where it makes Superman, it like implicates Superman in some kind of heinous thing because Superman won't join them.
Well, it looks Mr. Terrific is saving Lois Lane outside that camp when the Lex bots are attacking. It looks like that's Lois Lane he's protecting.
Which those Lex bots look really cool, by the way.
When it has like those little things in the air that bring that shield around them, and it looks like that's Lois Lane right there. So that could be, to your point, where Lex is the main protagonist here.
Right. And so like I have a feeling like there's going to be something that happens, like maybe Superman ends up fighting that kaiju, right? And they try to like pin that kaiju on maybe, it's Kryptonian. Maybe it does escape from his
fortress?
From some
fortress.
Or maybe when they're stopping the kaiju, Lex Luthor causes more destruction that he pins on Superman or something.
Right. And so, so in all of that, then you got a Superman, who people are, turning on stuff. We're getting a lot of imagery that we saw in Man of Steel. I mean, Superman with the handcuffs, Superman, being led down, when we know that he's really probably could overcome it.
Yeah. Like crowds turning on him.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, we saw all that in, BVS. You know, it is interesting. Look, I'm not gonna just turn a blind eye to the fact that we did hear a lot about the fact that the Snyderverse was too dark and people didn't like, that Superman was facing this or that. And I'm just being honest. I am seeing people now who have attacked the Snyderverse, Zack Snyder, and anybody who liked it. And look, I'm somebody who likes that universe. I love that universe, and obviously I've been very vocal about it. And there are people who have been very just angry for some reason at like the different portrayals of Superman that Zack Snyder gave us. So it is interesting that as James Gunn has been heralded as this person who's going to bring us, bring Superman back, this hopeful, cheery Superman, whatever. They're like, we literally start off with Superman broken and beaten and defeated in a hole in the snow. And, and we see that like Superman's obviously going to go through some crap during this movie. So what I hope it is I hope it's something that we really feel, because that's what I felt with Man of Steel and with BVS was I really felt Superman's struggle, right? Where when I watched Superman Returns, yeah, Superman is infected with kryptonite and stabbed and beaten up by 3 guys, and Lex Luthor, stabs him and throws him off a cliff. But the movie wasn't pushing me to a place where I felt that as much.
I left the Earth for 5 years because I wanted to see some debris.
Well, again, could have taken 2 seconds for him to go to Lois and say, Lois, you know how I feel about you, but I have to go out to Krypton to see if there's anything there, if there's any survivors there whatsoever. I don't know if I'll be coming back because something may happen to me, but I will try my best to come back. But I love you, and I just wanted to tell you. Bye. Kiss her. Make her forget. I don't know. Do something. But you're going to tell me that like you found out and like, oh my God, if the planets don't align right this freaking second and I leave right this moment without telling Lois a word. Anyways, that's a whole different story. Anthony, we're going to get to you here in just a second, but first, before we do that, I want to hit a couple more of these super chats.
I also must bid you guys adieu.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, man. DL, always a pleasure, sir. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right, Tony Movie Chappie D9 Neil Blomkamp fan, my favorite names. With a $4.99 super chat here, says, do you think that it was a mistake that The Rock brought back Henry Cavill Superman in Black Adam, knowing now what eventually happened?
Man, it's a tough situation.
Hold on. Whoa. Yeah, let me give me a second. Yes, it's a mistake, right? Because hindsight, like RJ was just alluding to, is always 20/20. We know now that wasn't going anywhere, that it wasn't going to do anything. Was he throwing everything in to try to make it happen? Yeah, right? And honestly, if a lot more fans would have responded to it, we may be in a totally different place right now. Possibly. I'm not saying for sure because there was a lot still going on at the time. But if Black Adam had made a ton of money, it would have definitely at least got their attention to say, well, maybe we should take a look at this, right? Maybe we shouldn't just throw all of our eggs in this basket over here with James Gunn. I don't know. I wasn't there, right? I can just all we can do is look back on it like everybody else. But was it a mistake? Maybe, but I'll take it because man, I love that moment. And no matter what happened afterwards, nobody could take that moment, man. When Superman walks out of that mist or out of that, dust or whatever, it's powerful. He's Superman. And so, yeah, I dig it. You guys dig it? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think how they handled the entire Black Adam situation was just really unfortunate, just from the fact that it took that long for them to even secure it because they were battling with Walter Hamada and the people at the time who didn't want them to do it. Yeah. Then when they do finally get the cameo in there, they've already kind of like made their decision to hire James Gunn, and they're kind of like, he wants to do something completely different. But at the same time, they tell Henry Cavill, hey, we might bring you back. Go ahead and announce this. It just, the whole thing was just a mess, and they never handled that correctly. It's a shame because it just a lot of corporate buffoonery, sadly. And I think also, too, they just made the mistake of letting the Warner leadership at the time make creative decisions for DC while at the same time interviewing people who are going to go in a different direction anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't know. Just the whole thing was just a mess, and it's a shame.
Man, that's tough. That's a tough situation because I did like the scene in that. I did like it. Him showing up and him talking to Black Adam and see what was going to happen next. But I think WB should have just never told him, go on Instagram and announce that you're coming back. Which it did great numbers on Instagram. It did made a ton of likes. It did great. Announced on the DC page as well. He's coming back and stuff like that. And it's just tough. Yeah, it was as left terrible David whatever terrible owner at WB. It was like, yeah, just post on Instagram that you come back as Superman. And the next day later, oh yeah, we hired James Gunn, we hired Peter Safran, who's I still don't like, and now we rebooting Superman. I was like, okay, and there you go. Like,
Yeah, it happened quick, right? It all went down quick. I mean,
I can understand why people will get mad at that time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I understand. I was frustrated. I was mad. I was upset.
Yeah.
Because I wanted more Henry Cavill. You know, so yeah, I mean, like you said, we look back on it, we see what it is now. You know, and all we can do is really hope for the future. Fourth 1000 hoping for the future says, why was Superman so mopey in the trailer? That's not supposed to happen.
But see, that's what I like. That's what I'm talking about, though. That I actually really liked is that the trailer took itself seriously. You know, it treated the character, it treated the character with like not only some dignity, but also like, yeah, like we're taking this seriously because this is a serious, like this isn't a joke character. This is Superman. Like there's expectations that come with a character like this.
Well, I don't want to speak 100% for Fourth, and I think I know Fourth pretty well. But I think where he's coming from with that comment is that's what a lot of people, not saying Fourth, so a lot of people complain about with Henry Cavill is he wasn't smiling, he's mopey, he's too serious, he's acting like he's pouting all the time, and that's what we just saw in this trailer, and everyone's not saying a word about it. No. Everyone's like, oh, this is just the greatest thing in the world. It's the tone is awesome, and again, that I mean, if that's the portrayal that they want to give, and that's what the trailer is supposed to give off, that's fine. However, if two people have the exact same expression, you complain about one and say the other, and don't complain about the other. I mean, I think there's a
no, I understand. I think that's just one of the inherent flaws and problems with fans and fandom in general. Fans are very wishy-washy. Audiences are very wishy-washy.
Yeah,
you know, they'll complain about something that happened in one thing, but like a decade later, everyone's okay with it now, and that's just.
And like the other thing that I could say, not to cut you off, and I apologize, but I think the other thing that I've seen ever since this trailer dropped, and one thing that they complained about in Man of Steel was, oh, why is Superman fighting Zod right in the middle of the city? All these casualties.
Right.
Yet we see buildings toppling over in this trailer. We see this monster shooting this fire right at Superman, and Superman has this skyscraper knowingly right behind him. Yep. And everyone's, again, you have two different camps, as I mentioned earlier. You have the camp saying, well, wait a minute, you all complained about this when Zack Snyder did it, when Man of Steel happened, and now we're pretty much doing the exact same thing here, where we're seeing a building literally toppling over, and you can't tell me that building is empty, right? You can't tell me, and then there's nobody on the ground that's not going to have debris fall on them and potentially retire, right? And no one's saying that. Now, again, I'm in the middle camp here. I'm just saying that's just what I see on both sides of the fence that legit, people are complaining about. So
no, I understand.
And that's legit. That's legit.
Yes.
I mean, that's just legit, right? And that's the way I look at it too. It's like, you know, and I understand that also we're hypocrites. We look at one thing and we say, this is fine. And we look at the other thing and say, no, it sucks, you know? And so I literally saw somebody today said something about Henry Cavill's Superman. I wish I could remember what it was. It was so ridiculously outlandish. No, it was somebody on social media was saying they were trying to say something positive about James Gunn's Superman, but having, of course, to use a negative against,
which I hate. I hate.
I really hate that.
Pointless. It's pointless. But they were saying this, but in doing so, they said something about Man of Steel that was like an absolute flat out lie, that like Henry Cavill does something in that movie that like he does not do. And it just like, I'm looking at this going, we don't have to do this. Why are we doing this? Why are we reduced to this? That like you are literally willing to make something up because that is you are either a liar or you are absolutely ignorant and just making statements. And given the current day and time, I don't know which. You can like different things for different reasons. You can like the same character presented different ways. You can like different things. Everything doesn't have to be the same. And you know, and there are reasons for things, right? And we get really upset about stuff. In fact, I'm going to make a joke right now, just to explain myself, because like my friend Crazy Joe was just like messaging me and asking me to come on the program, right? And I was like, I'm, you know, getting ready to wind it down. We've been here about 2 hours and stuff. And then like William just popped in, right? But it's not because like I would, you know, but William had access to it. He already had the StreamYard thing, you know, so he popped in, right? But like the thing is like Joe could have just seen William pop in, and maybe he did see William pop in and go like, well, what the heck, right? Like, why is Enosh doing that, right? And thinking maybe I've got a totally different intention, right? That I don't. And that's the problem, is we start reading things into all these little things, man. Like every little comment that's made about a movie, every director that says any little thing, every word that James Gunn says, it seems like there is somebody waiting there to just twist it and make it something else. And to say, you know, like that he's made a promise that he's not going to keep, and he's doing this and he's attacking this person and that person. And then the problem is that, like we said, the other side is the exact same way. There's now all these people who support James Gunn. Good for them. Support the movie. But they feel like they have to take a personal shot now every time at Zack Snyder or the DCEU or anyone who likes it and mock them and do that. This is Superman we're talking about here. Superman. Like champion of the oppressed, right? He is a hero for all. He's supposed to set an example for all of us of what we could be, what we could achieve. Jor-El tells him over and over, how many times have we watched it reiterated in different ways? You know, you will be a beacon for them. You will be a light. They will follow you into the sun. You know, you will be all these things for them. And we say we're fans of that character, and I'm sorry. I see Superman fans just acting in horrible ways to each other and abroad. And can I tell you what that's going to get? That's not going to get your favorite version of Superman made. It's not going to get the thing that you want made. What it's going to do is it's going to ensure that not enough people support the character in general. And when not enough people support the character, it is seen that there's not an interest in that character anymore. And then the push for that character becomes less and less. If you're a Superman fan, in any iteration, understand that it is this character. You don't have to like it. You don't have to support it. You don't have to think that it's the greatest thing. But understand it's still Superman and what he stands for. And if you're a Superman fan and you believe in those morals, you believe in that kindness and the way that we should treat other people, maybe we bring that out of the comic book pages and into real life. Just saying. So there's your little Enoshism for the day. Real quick, and then I'm going to get to William so we can get around here to closing out. But Tony Movie Chappie D9 Neil Blomkamp fan with a $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. That means a lot to me, man. I really appreciate that. I'm doing everything I can to save the house. But I am very excited for James Gunn's Superman, and I got a bit teary-eyed a little bit, and I wouldn't mind if this is part of a modern Donner and part Man of Steel, as long as it is executed well. And that's the point, man. To me, you know, I think it's a good meshing so far. Now, look, we could see the movie next year, and it could be horrible. It could fail miserably and not be something that we want to see. But for now, I'm content with what I've seen. And I even like a lot of what I've seen. A lot. And here, of course, is Cylon. What's up, man? Free Hacker Radio, $5 super chat. Says, I don't have anything to say. It's just nice to see you back, hopefully with more to come. Yes, my friend. And we got some plans. And I would just say, look for some announcements coming soon. Some things we're going to be doing in January that I think you all will be very, very interested in. So that being said, thank you all for the super chats. Now, William, you came in, man, the 11th hour, man, to give us your opinion. It's gonna be the hottest of takes, isn't it?
Yeah, not really. First of all, what are you doing on my channel? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's mine now.
No, I said I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. I said what I said. I mean, I'm pretty much. I think there's a certain mental illness when it comes to all Superman fans in general, just based on what I've seen.
Yeah.
You couldn't give a comment like about what you saw today without people taking a swipe. And some of those people are pretty. They're not just average fans. Some of those people have outlets and said certain things, and they know better. I just don't see a need to take a swipe. And like I said, if I hear the word hopeful again, I might rip the tongue out of the person that I'm standing next to that says it. I don't know what Superman these people have been watching. At various different degrees, Superman's been all of these things in each rotation. I think the problem is that these guys have this cartoonish version of Superman stuck in their head, and they will not let go of it in order to be able to let a new Superman in. And that was a problem with Cavill. And that was it. That's when I hear people say, "Oh, it reminds me of Donner," I almost vomited in my mouth. 6-year-old me was okay with things with Donner. It doesn't age well. It's a bit cheesy. You can go after the spirit of what that meant, but I'm really, like I said, I don't want to hear of Donner when it comes to 2024, 2025. It just doesn't fit anymore.
Are you talking about the music or the tone of the trailer?
No, I don't cry. That trailer, by the way, that wasn't a trailer. That was a teaser. I think another mistake is a lot of people are trying to take too much of a teaser. A teaser's purpose is to get the conversation going. A trailer, which you'll probably see on Super Bowl, that's going to be something that's something you're probably going to be able. That's when you get a premise, you get a little bit more. You find out who the villain is. You're going to find out a lot more. That's the purpose of that. This is just to get the conversation going. And I think a lot of weight's been put on a teaser because we're not in normal times. But that's all it really was. There was nothing I took away from the trailer. Like if I wasn't going to go see this movie because we were going to be promoting it, there's nothing in that trailer that was going to pull me off my couch and say, "Where's my ticket?" If it was a teaser, that's all it was. Now it gets the conversation going, and in the interim, now we start talking. Now they start using their outlets, using DC Studios Weekly, things like that, to prime us and get us ready along the way. We're still 7 months away from the movie, so we're still good there. But there was nothing in this teaser that says, "William, pull out your wallet and go to Fandango."
How did you feel about the way that Warner Brothers and DC Studios launched the trailer in terms of how they announced it, how they promoted it, and how they used their social media and their YouTube page to, like with the YouTube premiere?
I thought that
do you
was
feel
fine.
like they launched the trailer pretty successfully from a marketing standpoint?
I thought the way in which they did it was a little bit late. I thought the teaser should have been out about 4 or 5 months ago. And then I thought they should have, when it comes time to go forward with it, they should have already had their weekly show in place, and that's where it should have premiered. But the way they did it was fine. Like I said, we still have 7 months. I'm glad to see that they're taking an entire company-wide approach to DC and Superman, because this movie ain't going to mean jack. If the company's not doing well in July 2025, this movie doing well is not going to do anything. You still have a dead brand. Now you just got a cool movie. So what they're doing right now on all levels, and the numbers have been showing it when it comes to DC's sales, is what they needed to be doing quite a while ago, but better late than never. But as far as the teaser goes, it's a teaser. It's a teaser. In fact, you shouldn't even use the word trailer in it. It's a teaser. Get the conversation going. Introduce you to some of the characters out of context, and then we wait till February where we get the characters in context and the premise. So that's all that was to me.
Was there anything that stood out to you specifically that you thought was cool in the teaser, or something that caught your eye at all?
There's a dog with a cape, which I hoped in my lifetime I would never see in live action, but I saw that. I think Nicholas Hoult looks great as Lex Luthor. I think LexCorp looks cool. I hate the costume, and every time I see the costume, I hate it even more. That's not going to be a deal breaker for me, but I absolutely abhor that costume. I hope this is a Phase 1 costume with him, but that's not going to stop me from going to see the movie. Neither is the cape on the dog. But aesthetically, cinematography, I didn't have too much of an issue with it. I like the Top Gun feel of it. It seemed more, and this is not a fair assessment because I only got a teaser. There's a bunch of different ways you can go when you go with Superman. My preferred way is a science fiction route. That's why I like Man of Steel. The whole alien premise, how that starts out with the alien premise, and now you're taking that
Yeah.
to
Well,
planet Earth.
that's what made. I don't know if you, because I know I should need to wind the stream down. I don't know if you guys read any of the interviews that they launched the other day to promote the trailer, where they had some websites go to the Cleveland set and talk to James Gunn. He talked about how this movie is going to be inspired a lot by Silver Age stuff, All Star Superman, some other stuff. So he said this is meant to be like the most science fiction-y feeling Superman movie made to date.
But there's two different types of science fiction, though. There's a science fiction that they applied to Superman in the 50s and the 60s, and there's a cinematic science fiction. One translates better than the other, in my opinion. So, but like I said, that doesn't turn me off to this. I'm open to this movie. I'm not excited about Superman. I'm open to being excited about Superman. So that's where I'm at right now. Today's trailer didn't change anything. Today's teaser didn't change anything. I'm exactly where I was at 24 hours ago. I'm open to it. I think a lot of the heat that James Gunn gets needs to be directed solely at David Zaslav. He's the one that bungled up Black Adam. He's the one that bungled up the hire and made everything look bad. So if there's any anger, it needs to be directed towards the right person. James Gunn, all James Gunn did was say yes to a job and then go about his own way of doing it, which is what every person who has their legacy on the line would ever do if they were given the opportunity. Remember, other people said no to that job. So with Abdi and DeLuca were going on, they thought they were going forward because that's what David Zaslav, allowed them to think. So the anger needs to be aimed at him, but nobody can probably even spell that name, let alone know who he is. So we're going to go for the most visible target, which is not always fair.
Well, he's not well known like Bob Iger, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know, and again, I know we need to wind the stream now, but James Gunn, I think, understands that there's a lot of pressure on him and this movie. I don't know if you saw, William, that quote in the Gizmodo article.
That's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer. Here's the problem is, and this is where we're going to get into the same thing that sunk the previous regime. You can't do that. You can't do that. What you need to do is you need to go out and make the best movie you can, and then the executives need to be on that frame thought. Because what you do is you leave yourself open to reactionary thinking. And reactionary thinking is...
I think James, at least based on that quote, his mindset is he just wants to make the best movie he can.
Yeah.
And but I think it was more so a thing of quality. If the audience doesn't like this movie, right, then he's like, hey, we're not going to keep making movies if people don't like them. Right. Like we're here.
That's the case you can apply to any franchise, but at the same time with this one, you got to realize, you got to understand that the room that you're in here. You have to understand you have reactionary people and on all levels, and you have to push that away, and you have to say, and this is why I wish the guy was under some kind of contract, because the last thing you need is for it to not do well on some format and ignore all the other formats that you make money on. And then now we start panicking and I don't get lanterns because somebody panting. And that does damage to the franchise. You set yourself back 8, 9, 10 years doing that before, thinking that $873 million wasn't enough for a movie.
And we got to remember too, right? At the same time, we got to remember that these are not just separate movies. Right. So they're not, we can't just look at it as, okay, this is a Superman movie. Yes, we look at it as a Superman movie, but this is a Superman movie to be followed by a Supergirl movie, to be followed by a Batman Brave and the Bold movie, to be followed by this movie and that movie. So eventually we're going to get to this point where enough stuff was greenlit, that enough stuff is in the pipe actually being made, that you can't just cancel the whole thing because maybe people don't connect with the version of Aquaman from this universe like they did with Jason Momoa. I don't know. You know what I mean? And so you put out an Aquaman movie and it doesn't do as well. Well, the old one made $1 billion. What did we do wrong? Well, maybe you did something wrong and maybe people just didn't connect with this Aquaman. So yeah, you can't just judge the whole thing and throw the whole thing out then. So, eventually it's going to be a point where, you're going to have to look at the whole thing as a franchise. And I think that's what the MCU does. The MCU has setbacks where there's a bad movie here or a bad series there.
But they don't panic.
No, they don't panic. They put out the next thing. And you know what's funny is it eventually comes around, right? Remember we went through this cycle where there was all this negativity on the Marvel universe.
Well, I just want to say one quick counterpoint. I'm not saying they panicked because the circumstances are different, but the Ant-Man and the Wasp bombing at the box office and the Jonathan Majors thing did cause them to course correct that we have never seen Marvel do before.
I think that was more. You got to realize that was done under different leadership. Kevin Feige doesn't do that type of course.
No, I know, but that was still the plan they were going with. Now they're doing something completely different.
I don't think that's panic. I think that's adjustment. I mean, when you've made 30 billion over the last 14 years, you make adjustments. You do whatever the hell you want.
What was it? The first or second Captain America movie was supposed to be what? Captain America and the whatchamacallits. It was like some weird
Separate Society.
The Serpent Society, right?
Yeah.
Where did that come? Where'd that go?
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, they've changed.
Yeah, they changed. Yeah,
there's a difference between making.
But this is a massive change, though.
It is. Well, it's a massive change though to go from Winter Soldier, isn't it, or from Serpent Society to Winter Soldier?
I think
Civil War.
Civil War or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big change too. So I'm saying is like what I think the point is that with the MCU, when they course correct, it's not hey, women and children first, everybody, grab something and jump overboard because the whole thing could go under at any second.
Yeah.
And that's how DC acts, right? Is that like if somebody doesn't react exactly the way we want to, oh my God, we got to throw everything out and start all over again.
Yeah. Before I go real quick,
we make change. They make changes and they move on. Yes, sir.
Before I go, when it comes to like panicking and that, Marvel Studios has never failed with an A-lister, and they're always going to have that in their back pocket. People can try to hold Ant-Man and all these the B's and the C's and say, well, this didn't do that well. They have never failed with an A-lister. Never. Period. They're established. They're established, not your other people established. What they have established as their top tier, the Captain America, the Iron Man, the Thor, they have not failed with those. So when people say, "Well, with Ant-Man and the Wasp, who cares?" And the whole lexicon of things, they know that they can reach in their back pocket and pull out those A-listers. Or at Comic-Con, have Doctor Doom mask on Robert Downey Jr. They know they have their A-listers and they have them, and that's what people come to see when it comes to Marvel Cinematic. I don't come to see for the C-listers all the time, and that's where your course correcting going on. But that was a lot of the mentality under Chapek and the previous regime because they wanted volume. They originally wanted volume for Disney Plus. That's why you got a lot of that stuff. So I see it as just an adjustment. When you have an ace in your pocket at all times, there's no panic. There's no course change for that. There's just, you know what, let's go back to what worked, and that's it. But DC's never done that, though. DC doesn't have the credibility of something working long enough over that course of time, and they didn't have the right people at the time to even do that. Now there's a studio head. If there had been a studio head back in 2013, we probably wouldn't even know each other because that studio head could have stepped in and pretty much been the buffer of a lot of the goofy garbage that ended up happening from 2013 up till now, up until when Zazoff even took over. So there's a difference. The comparisons are not as vivid as people like to think they are. There's two completely different circumstances. Marvel Studios has always had a studio head, whereas DC didn't. So
for sure.
All right, man. Hey, well, welcome back.
DC did.
I will see you around. I guess. I hope your announcement includes me, and you're always welcome on to come on to my palace as well.
They definitely will, man. We love you, William.
All right, see you guys later,
brother. All right, brother.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm just. We live in a world where we're getting a new Superman movie. Is that so much to complain about? I don't know.
No, I mean, we get it. It's been 13 years since the last one. Well, 14 about to be next year, yeah.
But in the same token, we have to be honest. I don't think that we should just like things for the sake of liking them. I think that we should try to force people to like stuff that they don't like, or try to quiet anybody. I thought it was funny. Nerd goes to Nostra. He's like, I don't know, I'm gonna be back on here. That day. No, that's the thing is we should be able to have conversations. One of the things that disappoints me, I guess, and especially in this last year and a half that I've kind of stepped back and I've talked with more people, in chats, or DMs or whatever, than just freely talking like this. And it just amazes me because it concerns me actually for the mental well-being of some people who I see are totally obsessed with various pop culture things, with actors, with directors and writers, and like these are people who've never maybe stepped foot out of their hometown. Some of them definitely never stepped foot onto a studio lot in LA. And they think they know everything, all the inner workings of everything that's happened in multiple productions. You know what? I don't know. It's silly sometimes. It really is. You know, I love talking about stuff for the fun of it, man. You know, like I think this movie looks like it's going to be fun. There's a super dog, and I know Scott. I say that just because Scotty was like earlier, like I hope the dog dies. There ain't enough kryptonite in the movie to take out Krypto. There is no way, man.
Crypto's too strong. He's a strong dog in the comics. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, I hope this movie does well. I really do. I hope.
I hope so too.
I hope WB, if the movie makes $750 million, I hope WB is happy with it because no Superman ever crossed $1 billion mark, and that's the most. What Man of Steel is the highest Superman movie up to date. We're not doing no 1977 whatever thing like. It's still the highest. Man of Steel is still the highest Superman movie ever. So if it passes Man of Steel, that's good.
Yeah,
that's
it's
great.
not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I guess let's do this. Let's go around the horn. Nerd Costa Nostra, do you think that this teaser trailer did what it was supposed to do? Do you think it could do something else? And your final thoughts on it? Did it do enough?
It didn't do enough. From my perspective, it didn't do enough. I think it did do two things. It did what it was supposed to do. Got people talking about the movie. One, unfortunately, all it did also at the same time was get two camps of people bickering back at each other again, even more than they were for the past, 11 years, 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's been happening since Man of Steel. That's what's been happening since Zack Snyder's Justice League. And it's been happening. It's happened since the cameo. It's happened since James Gunn got announced as a studio head, and it continues to happen. All this did was, as some of the things I pointed out, where you have, and we talked about, I'm not going to take us down that path, but like some of the things where you say where one thing happened in one movie, everyone bashed it. Now no one's bashing it, right? So I think it did two things. It got people talking, obviously, about Superman, the character, and this movie, but in the same breath, it got two camps back at war with each other again. And that's just, and to William's point, if we get the actual full trailer, like a full traditional trailer come Super Bowl, it's all going to pick up right. The more that comes out about this film, the more the war is going to wait. It's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep, this will never end. I think the one thing though, I will say though, that William mentioned that I think DC, that Marvel hasn't experienced yet, that DC continues to experience, is we haven't seen somebody else play Iron Man yet. We haven't seen somebody else play Thor yet. No. Like we haven't seen those characters like we haven't seen Iron Man yet. I mean, we see Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, but we haven't seen Iron Man rebooted or remade for where we see a brand new origin story, a modern take of Iron Man with someone else playing the character in a cave, builds a reactor. We haven't seen any of that. DC has seen this time and time again. Now, I've always wondered you have all these people on the Marvel side of the table saying, man, DC is failing. DC can't get their act together. Well, at some point, the day's going to come where Marvel's going to have to say, well, Robert Downey Jr. can't play Iron Man. And if they say, well, we want to do Iron Man again, it's the same thing will happen. People will see that first Iron Man trailer. They'll see the new actor, and they say, well, he's not Robert Downey Jr. He's not Chris Evans. He's not, he or she's not this character, this actor, they played it better.
He doesn't even look like Robert Downey Jr.
Exactly. And then I think that's when Marvel fans will start to experience what DC fans have been experiencing for years. And it's just an unfortunate cycle that we're going to be in. Again, I give, for me, the teaser, best for me, 2 out of 5. I'm not hooked yet. If you love it, if you enjoy it, I'm happy for you. I'm happy it met your expectations. I'm happy you're excited for it. Just for me, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, and that, like we said earlier, that's totally fair. I mean, people are allowed to like and dislike what they stuff. So,
Anthony, real quick, your final thoughts on the trailer, and do you think it accomplished what it needed to accomplish?
Yeah, I think for me it did a good job. what the tone's gonna be. I think James Gunn's doing a different tone is good because you could tell he's been doing the same thing for the last 3 movies so far. So like I like how it's different. I think Lois and Clark looks great. Crypto I did enjoy. I did enjoy Superman saving the little girl and stuff like that and stuff. So that was good. For me, it did a good job. Hopefully we get more. Who's gonna be the villain of this movie and what is it about? Hopefully we see Perry White and more of Jimmy in the trailer as well. So yeah, it did a good job for me.
Good, good. And RJ, your final thoughts on the trailer, and did it do what it needed to do for you?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I've, everyone knows me and everyone knows that I've been really excited for what the DCU could be, and I've been excited for what James Gunn could bring to the table. So, I mean, I was definitely the target audience for this trailer and for this movie. And for me, it delivered on what I was hoping to see from a Superman movie, what I would like to see from this movie so far, at least. Still got a couple concerns. I mean, just in terms of I want to see more of the story. I want to get a better idea of these performances and what they're going to feel like. But I think it captured the tone really well. I appreciated the atmosphere created. I appreciated that it felt like Superman, which I think is the most important thing. It didn't feel like a typical James Gunn movie. It didn't feel like anything else. It felt like this is the actual character that we want to see on the big screen again.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the movie, and I hope it does well.
Excellent. Well, you know what? There's obviously a lot of different opinions. Nerd Costa Nostra, I agree with you fully, man. It's nowhere near done. I said a couple of years ago, I said, jokingly, I'm not going to be here 5 years from now, like begging for the Snyderverse. Like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, and I think I'm holding true to that. It's like it's something that I want, but there's a lot of things that we want. Sometimes it's just not going to happen. I think everybody's kind of moved on. Everybody who's involved has moved on. Now, look, could the planets align and one day there'd be some crazy project that reunites people? Hey, look, Brandon Routh came back and played Superman.
Yeah, and again, I think for something like that to happen, this needs to be successful. The DCU needs to be successful, whether it's this film and all the subsequent films that follow it, whether it's the films or TV series, they need to be successful if that were to take place. If this doesn't happen, or just like we've talked about before, if WBD gets bought out, broken up again next year or the year after, it's very possible the DCU could all of a sudden be like, yep, it's done, because new ownership can come in. Just like in any company, a new owner can come and say, listen, I'm not spending my money on this. I don't want this. Wrap up what you're filming, put it out. We're done. I want single stories. I don't want a universe.
Or even worst case scenario, they put the entire brand on ice for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
because that's a real possibility. I mean, I've been saying this is DC's last real chance at a thriving cinematic universe, like a big scale thing that they're doing like this.
But for those that are holding out hope and are keep driving the hashtag restore the Snyderverse, if you really think that's going to happen, then Superman needs to be successful. Supergirl then needs to be successful, and Batman, all these other ones need to be successful for them to say, man, there's a real interest in these. Hey, let's put this out. Even for David Ayer's cut, for that to happen, I think some of these projects need to be successful.
Well, I think even David Ayer has alluded to that, although it's gotten into trouble recently.
Yeah. Well, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. You notice something, okay? And I mean that's just such a slippery slope to go down with that conversation, because it's just we've talked about it so many times, but it's so weird that it's so still relevant. And that there's people still doing this stuff. You know what I mean? That there's literally people who will now attack David Ayer because David Ayer says anything positive about WB, right? But then Zack Snyder can literally go back and say, like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make a movie with him, man. I'm gonna go work on this 300
or a TV
thing,
show,
or a
prequel,
TV show, or whatever. Like, you know how I alluded to it is, like, you ever work someplace and while you were there was really bad management, right? There were just people you did not like, but there were people around you that you really liked working with, right? And then maybe you go back into that place years later, and you're kind of talking to people that work there and stuff, and you see that, sometimes maybe it got better, right?
You go back years later, you should be saying to yourself, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money.
Right. Right, but at the same time, but at the same time, you get what I'm saying? Like just because the management at one point was bad does not mean that you hate the job,
Correct.
forever, right? Because things can change, and that's what I think with this. I mean, it's these characters at the end of the day, and that's why we love them. And I get it that people, like I said, find these characters at different places. There are some people who discovered Superman through Zack Snyder, and I'm glad that they discovered Superman. But I would say, just like you have found a Superman that speaks to you, even if other people are horrible, if other people threaten you, if other people threaten the people around you, if people online are saying horrible things about you and mocking you, I mean, listen, guys, it's going to happen, right? I mean, and I get it. Some of us don't put ourselves out there, and some of us put ourselves out here. I mean, it's like, it's taken me some time to get to a point where I can do a stream and not care about what some people have to say about my personal relationships or the channel or about my take on, Star Wars or Superman or whatever, and just put me down. We're going to get that from some people, but it doesn't mean that we have to meet that with the same kind of actions, and we shouldn't. It's this now, as Nerd Costa Nostra has alluded to, it's just a revolving thing.
It's like a rinse and repeat situation.
It's
all
the
it is.
same argument over and over and over and over again. Well, and I literally have people in my DMs, Nerd Costa Nostra, like defending it, saying, "Well, these Gunn fans said this to me," and I'm like, "Well,
two wrongs don't make a right."
Okay,
That's the issue,
okay.
yeah.
Well, then you know what? Let it go. Right? I mean, like, you don't have to attack that person, or I mean, especially, it doesn't do anybody, like, who is it doing good to then take out that anger and then go off on James Gunn online? Like, you know what I mean? It's again this same rinse and repeat, this same argument, and this is all supposed to be fun. We're talking about a man who wears a bright colored suit and flies. I want to say that. Wait! Before you say anything else, let me just say this, because I want to say this about the trunks. I want to say this about the trunks all day long because I love the trunks, and I have no problem with him having the trunks. I think that they do look a little big and diapery in this costume, but I love the trunks, and I will say this right now. I loved the explanation that James Gunn gave this week for the reason why they used the trunks and why the suit's so bright is because David Corenswet said that that Superman would want people to feel comfortable with him and able to come up to him, and kids and all those things. So yeah, he dresses like a wrestler with bright colors and all those things because he wants that. Batman does the exact opposite because he wants to strike fear into the hearts of criminals.
Yeah.
That resonated with me. I'm sorry, as a Superman fan,
Yeah.
And
that was surprising too to hear that James Gunn didn't want to do the.
Yeah, James Gunn's like, I don't want it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut off whoever was trying to cut me off, but yeah. Now go.
So to break it down even further, you're saying these are characters. At the end of the day, though, they're not real.
Right.
These are not. Superman's not real. Batman's not real. So I know some people out there will argue, well, we live in a matrix. I mean, hey, if you believe that, hey, that you do you. But
right.
At the end of the day, people are getting so worked up and so hell bent on something that's not even real, and are willing to just blatantly attack people, whether it's their character, whether it's them personally, over something that's not even real. To your point, this is all meant. I mean, at some level, at some point, when whoever created, the people who created these characters from day one probably created and say, oh, this seems like fun. I'm going to create this. Maybe someone else will enjoy this. And it morphed over the decades and the decades. And then at some point, we got to a point where it's like, well, wait a minute. You like Superman 78? Well, I like Superman 2013. Well, now I don't like you.
Right.
Well, guess what? Well, I don't like you. I mean, really, that's what we've come to, over something that's not even real.
Well, you know what? You may say it's not real, but Nerd Costa Nostra,
it's still real to me, damn it.
Hey, at least I didn't get the sweetheart.
That's true. No, but I can make everybody happy and give you this one.
No.
His testicle sack is now so large, he has to wear a huge hoodie upside down instead of trousers.
God damn.
Oh no.
What are we,
Not
man?
that one.
What
How
are we
dare
doing here? Come on, bro. What are we doing? That's on a whole nother level right there. Whole nother level.
Wow, that's old.
That's old. That's old school right there.
That's old school.
Yeah, this stream went to the balls.
All right. Anyways, yeah. You know what? Look, it's a new day. There's the DCU now, and look, I'm interested. I want to see more. I do want to see. You know, I'm interested how different characters are going to play out in the DCU, right? You know, how a Batman is going to fit into this. How a Batman is going to fit in with the entire Bat family. At this point, you know what I mean? Like they keep acting like Batman's not going to be that old, but if you have the entire Bat family and Damian, like, it's got to be
Yeah, Bruce has to be at least 35 or 40.
something, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
there's
mean?
no
Like
way
they
in hell.
keep kind of downplaying that, like, oh, yeah, he might be a little older.
Yeah, like
than,
James
might
keep
be a
going back.
couple
I
of
didn't
years
say he
older
would
than
be that
Superman.
old, but like, bro, he has to be 35 at least.
Yeah, it's like he's not. He might be a
Yeah.
couple years older than Superman. A couple years older than
Couple
Superman? It's
more
like,
than that.
Like, dude, the guy's raised 4 Robins already.
Yeah,
like, you know,
4.
like what are you
Yeah,
doing?
well, see, there's
And
the whole.
Batgirl's probably Oracle at this time. Like,
Well, that's
Yeah.
another thing, right? Because everybody complained about Ben Affleck's Batman.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see the younger years of him just fighting crime and all this stuff. You know, it's like now we got the entire Bat
we got
family.
the entire
It's all
Bat
built
family.
out.
You
He's
got
ready to retire.
You got the Teen Titan movie that is coming out. Whatever year is that? So like, okay. Like,
Okay,
you
so
know.
2 things. We're gonna finish off this stream. Thank you to everybody who was on the stream. Thank you to everybody who was on the panel. Appreciate all of you guys.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate everybody who was in the chat tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you to everyone who gave us super chat. You guys are fantastic. I love you guys, and I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate what you guys do. We're gonna ask the Magic 8 Ball.
You got any toys?
I got tons of new toys, but I'm saving them for something.
Oh,
Saving
nice,
them for
nice.
something. There's something coming. All right, so we're gonna ask the Magic 8 Ball. Will James Gunn's Superman be good?
Ask again later.
No. Outlook not so good.
Mm.
And I'm not. I will show
Clip it.
you. I will show you.
How come not so good?
How come not so good?
Maybe it's broken.
It might be.
Will Superman kill somebody? No, I'm playing.
Will Superman kill somebody? Oh, and then of course, for Anchorman, I have to give him this. Yes, I want Enosh to jazz his hands and say "fee." Closer here. Come on in, Anchorman. Ready? Fee. Clip that. All right, guys. Hey, for everybody, thank you guys who are still here. I'm gonna get off here and go back over here. It's been a while since I've done this. Anyways, I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Nerd Costa Nostra. Thank you, Anthony, for showing up, man. Did we ever say hi to you? Or did you just come in?
No, he just came in during the middle of the stream. We just kept rolling with it.
Well,
yeah,
we
I just
love you,
came
man.
over there. Yeah, plus
We love
he
you,
knows
bro.
what I don't mind it anyway. I came in because I was outside. So
I got you. I feel you. All right, and thank you, RJ, for being here. Thank you, all of
course.
you. You know, the lounge is a place for everyone, and so from one of our old favorite, I'm going to go out with this clip from one of our old favorite Supermans, and
nice.
Proved to be a good guy, and so thank you all for being here. Just go watch Superman, and if you like it, great. If you don't, let's talk about it, right? Let's come back here in a few months and let's have another conversation about what this movie is. I think we're going to get a lot more discussions out of this thing before it's done. Anyways, until next time, my name is Enosh, saying, remember, don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, and don't tell anybody that the thing that they love doesn't matter, but seek to have good conversations and treat everybody with respect. And if you do that, there'll always be a place for you here in the Poindexter Lounge. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Hi everyone in the Poindexter Lounge. I hope you enjoyed Legends of Tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Thank you.